Welcome, Rich Rebel fans, to another edition of Rich Rebel Football here on Thursday afternoon. You know, the sun is out, but it is a little bit cold. I'm joined here with Colin Pace.
Hello.
Okay. How the heck are you?
Thanks for having me, Cody. I'm good. How about yourself?
You know what? I could not be better. Football is on, and what better place to be other than watching football, right?
Not much better on a Thursday afternoon.
That's very true. Very true. We're getting ready as the Rich Rebels will be taking on the Monticello Buckaroos. Kickoff is scheduled in about 41 minutes from now. As we move into our pregame show, brought to you by Auto Farm Chevrolet. Auto Farm Chevrolet, serving Rich County residents for generations. We'll hear from them. And then we'll set the scene, both Colin and I, a little bit about how these two teams are looking as our last regular season game is upon us. I cannot believe it. It happened really fast.
Yes, it did.
But you know what? Maybe the cold weather is trying to tell us that maybe it's time for basketball. It's coming up soon.
I could definitely agree with time for basketball.
We'll go ahead and get into that scene set in just a second. Until then, you're listening to a Bear Lake Community Health Center presentation of Rich Rebel Football on 98.3 FM with video coverage online at mylocalradio.com.
America keeps moving, and Auto Farm Chevrolet is here to help you keep rolling. Whether you need a brand new vehicle or service on one you already own, Auto Farm Chevrolet is here to lend a helping hand. Our certified mechanics are knowledgeable, and our sales team takes the time to get to know you and what your needs are. Stop in today. Auto Farm Chevrolet, 624 Front Street, Evanston. Evanston's community-driven dealer.
Welcome back, Rich Rebel fans, to the Auto Farm Chevrolet pregame show. The Rich Rebels are going to be taking on the Monticello Buckaroos. Our scene set today brought to you by J-Bar Excavation in Randolph. The team, the tools, and the experience for your excavation projects. Call J-Bar Excavation at 435-793-5855. I'm joined in the booth, in the studio. We're big shots. Colin Pace. He knows a lot more about Rich football than I sure do. So we're getting ready to take on the Buckaroos. Last game of the season. What does it mean for a team to win its final game going into the state tournament?
Well, that could mean a lot for these guys. They need to come up with a big W and go with some ahead of steam into the playoffs, because we've got the talent. We can win a playoff game.
100%.
We just have to put forth the effort. And with a W, I think it would show these kids that they do have that talent.
You know, I remember that I played football for a long time, back when I was a young, spry lad. And I've been a part of teams where, you know, you're going undefeated, you feel like you're on top of the world, and I've been on teams as well where the wins weren't coming the way that you wanted them to. And I cannot begin to tell you how much of a weight off of your shoulders it is when you get your first one on the season. And it just makes you feel so much better getting ready to take on whatever challenges are next week. You know what I mean?
Yes, that's definitely true. That first W means a lot to anybody. So,
Mm-hmm. Well, myself, Cody Olson, voice of the Rich High Rebels, Colin Pace, joining me in the booth, in the studio on our nice, lounge chairs, heated, everything like that. We're getting ready for the football game. So far, the most important football game is the one right now. We're going to be taking on the Monticello Buckaroos. This matchup is detrimental for both of these teams tonight. We'll go ahead and put up our graphic here. Detrimental for both of these teams tonight. This game will determine seeding and RPI for playoff matchups come state tournament time. The winner will likely play the 5th seed in 1A. The loser will play the 4th seed. The game today will determine who is the last place in the division. The Rebels are looking for their one win of the regular season, and if they're able to come out and show what they did against North Summit last week, then I think we can really have a game that's really competitive and really fun for the fans that have come out here. This senior class, as Colin Pace just kind of labeled and kind of shown to us, it's just so much talent. And this senior class is full of a great bunch of outstanding young men hoping to take on the Monticello Buckaroos. We're going to go ahead, take a quick second and step aside. We'll finish our scene set immediately after this, as this has been a Bear Lake Community Health Center presentation of Rich Rebel Football on 98.3 The Wildlife, as well as online coverage on mylocalradio.com.
As high school sports fans, we know that sometimes you have to drive a long way to get to the next game. If you find yourself on the side of the road, remember that Freeway Tire in Evanston offers service calls and roadside assistance 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It's a great idea to have your vehicle serviced, tires checked, and oil changed to make sure it's in top shape before your next long drive. Visit Freeway Tire today, your locally owned and operated tire shop. Freeway Tire, 217 Bear River Drive, Evanston.
Welcome back, Rich Rebel fans, to the Scene Set here, brought to you by J-Bar Excavation in Randolph. We are here, beautiful time, as it has been raining, it has been snowing, it's been kind of cold, but at least the sun has come out in this moment. Continuing on with our Scene Set, Colin Pace in the booth here with Cody Olson covering the Rich High Rebels. The Monticello Buckaroos, 2-7 on the year, winless currently in region play. The Buckaroos tonight, or this afternoon rather, come into this game hoping to grab their first region win, something that the Rich Rebels look to do as well. The Buckaroos have won 2 games against Grand County. That is a 20-17 game. And Whitehorse High School. This team runs many parallels in comparison to Rich High School and how this season has played out for them. The Buckaroos run a spread offense and are currently led by sophomore quarterback Jay McDonald. That kid is getting pretty close to the 1,000-yard mark in terms of passing. He's been fantastic. I talked with Coach Reed Anderson earlier about what McDonald really does for this team. On the year, the sophomore just shy of hitting the 1,000-yard mark. As for the Rich Rebels, they're looking to get their first win of the season. Mr. Pace.
Well, Monticello, they also have, I heard that their big receiver, their 6'4", 160-pound junior, Landon Ewert, hurt himself in the motel last night, so he might be out today too. So that really hurts Monticello.
Wow.
But as far as Rich, we're back healthy. We've got everybody back, and I think they're raring to go and ready to get their first W of the year.
I hope so, and we hope that no accident or injury happens to any of these teams. We just want to see a fantastic game. Kind of doubling back a little bit, we were able to watch the Rich Rebels put together 2 very impressive offensive drives against North Summit. What do you feel like was the real difference? And something that we hadn't really seen earlier in the year. It was like, oh, it's happening. What really made that happen? What do you feel like was the success catalyst for making those drives happen?
The big difference in that to me was we won in the trenches. Our linemen, they controlled the offensive line, and they gave Hunter a little bit of time to throw the ball when he needed to. They opened up holes that you could drive a Mack truck through for our running backs. So to me, the big key is our linemen. We've got to step up, and we've got to play, and we've got to block to the whistle.
I think that's exactly right. If you win up front, it's pretty hard to lose other places. I mean, call that a hot take, but I'm pretty sure that's what it is. This has been our Scene Set, brought to you by J-Bar Excavation in Randolph, the team, the tools, and the experience for your excavation projects. We'll go ahead and continue into our Auto Farm Chevrolet pregame show as we're going to go ahead and dip into the Where Are They Now segment. The Where Are They Now segment coming up. I was able to catch up with Lindsay Holmes, kind of a last name that nobody's ever heard ever in this county. We'll catch up with her and just talk a little bit about what happened post-graduation with Lindsay. Until then, let's go ahead and take a break on this Bear Lake Community Health Center presentation of Rich Rebel football on 98.3 KADQ, as well as on mylocalradio.com.
Success doesn't come by accident. Success requires hard work, perseverance, learning, sacrifice, and believing in yourself. Eddie and Todd Jensen established the Mound Valley Cattle Company in Thatcher, Idaho on these very principles. The students, staff, athletes, and coaches at Rich High School value these same fundamentals in education and activities, in athletics, and in life. Good luck, Rebels, from Mound Valley Cattle Company, serving customers in Utah, Idaho, and Wyoming since 1997.
Welcome back, Rich Rebel fans. Let's go ahead and dip into the Where Are They Now segment. Lindsay Holmes, and guess what? She's able to talk about herself a whole lot better than I can. So here she is, Lindsay Holmes. Rich Rebel fans, we'd like to welcome Lindsay Holmes onto our segment of Where Are They Now? Miss Holmes, thank you so much for the time and the interview. It's great to have some Rich alumni on the broadcast. How are you doing today?
I'm great. How are you?
I am good. Trying to stay warm. All things, winter is at the doorsteps, and everyone at Randolph has told me that it's going to get cold, but they'll never know how cold it gets until I experience it firsthand. So
It's true. Get ready.
did you have any, walking through the snow uphill both ways stories when you were going to Rich High School?
Not when I was in high school, but when I was in elementary, we had a lot of snow. And this is when I lived in Garden City. And my parents have a 2-story house. And when they were building it when I was in 4th grade, the railing wasn't up yet during the winter, and we could run off the deck into the snow.
Wow.
And that's probably like 10 to 15 feet high in certain spots of the deck.
Wow. Well,
Yeah.
hopefully you had the snow was a little soft, I hope.
Oh, yeah. It was awesome.
That's good.
So fun.
Lindsay Holmes joining us here on the Where Are They Now segment. Miss Holmes, I've been led to believe that you were, if there was any type of activity going on in Randolph when you were in high school, you were a part of it. Do you want to touch up on some of those things that you did while at Rich High?
Sure. Yep. So I played volleyball. I started playing volleyball when I was in 4th grade, and then I played all the way through high school. I was outside hitter my whole life. And then I played basketball. I was the point guard. And then I did track, and I mostly did sprints in track. I really didn't like track very much, but so I always tried to be on the relay team so I could still have that sense of security for a team sport, And then I did the musical. Loved musicals. So
Wow, there you go. That's why I did track as well, especially relays.
Yes.
They're the best.
Yes, they are.
What did you feel as though was your favorite activity to do at Rich High School?
I couldn't choose while I was in high school. Kind of just whatever season I was in, that's what I thought I liked the best.
Right.
Looking back at high school now, I probably miss volleyball more than I do basketball. I miss them both, but I just really love volleyball. And then obviously I really miss the musical because it's not like you can get to do musical ever again, So
right.
you can kind of do some pickup volleyball and basketball, but can't get an experience like musicals. So.
What musical did you do and what role did you have?
So let's see. My freshman year we did Joseph and the Technicolor Dreamcoat.
What a
I was just
classic.
part of it was really fun. And I was just part of the chorus then. And then sophomore year we did Aida, and I was Aida in one of the casts. And then my junior year we did Little Shop of Horrors, and I was Audrey. And then my senior year we did South Pacific, and I think her name was Nellie. Yeah, Nellie.
Nice. That's awesome. I had lots of friends that did musicals. I never did it, but I loved going and supporting. Lindsay, where did life kind of take you post graduation after Rich High School?
Okay, well, like everyone in Rich County knows, I married Bradley.
We have never heard that name ever, right?
Yeah, ever. He was a senior and I was a freshman, so when he got back from his mission, I still had a year left of high school. Mm-hmm. We got married, he proposed to me the summer after I graduated. We got married that December, and things just kind of took off. We went to BYU, Idaho. I got my nursing degree. A month after I took my NCLEX, I had a baby. We've had 3 babies since then. So our oldest just started kindergarten this year.
Wow.
So.
What is that like, just having the kids grow up so fast already in kindergarten? What are the thoughts that run through your head?
I was I didn't cry when he went to kindergarten, which was something I was nervous about. But I was just super excited for him. He's a super smart kid and just loves the social life, and he just loves learning. And so I was just super excited for him to start kindergarten. But now that I've looked back on it and I see how much he's grown, and how heavy he is for me to carry, and it makes me sad thinking about how much he's grown. And like when I think of like the big grand scheme of things, thinking that I'll only get to have my kids for 18 years, I'm like, man, that's not very long compared to like how long I'm going to live. I hope anyway.
Right.
So
that's amazing.
Love them. They're the best.
Was nursing school or mom school more difficult for you?
Ooh, you know what? I read this thing on Instagram one time that said, working is hard on being mom is harder on my mental state. Working is harder on like my mom heart. Mm-hmm. I'm like, there is nothing more true than that, Working is definitely easier to do. Like, there's so much stress with work, but like, just as far as like being drove crazy, it's definitely easier. Mm-hmm. But I can't stand to be away from my kids. So I think that probably that balance has been the hardest, I would say.
Well, there's people like you that we're glad that are able to handle those balances, because I have yet to learn them.
Oh my gosh.
It's going to be exciting. What is it like for you being a Holmes, just being a huge part of the community in the area, especially in Garden City?
Well, there's been stuff that has come up recently in the community, and like Garden City now there's just so many activities for the kids to do now, and I really appreciate that. And I never understood why someone would be so involved with the community and volunteer so much of their time. And now that I'm an adult and like it's for my kids, I understand that, and I think it's so fun. But yeah, I just being from here and just seeing the things that I love to do it, like doing well and people caring about them. I think that's just super awesome. And I just dove right into it and just love it.
Lindsay, what would you say to maybe a graduating senior or anyone in the community that wants to keep that special atmosphere in Garden City? What kind of advice would you say to them or have a call to action to?
Maybe, just like work hard, take care of what you love, and just show up and dig in and be a part of everything.
There you go.
And things usually turn out a lot better for everyone. Everyone's willing to put a little time and effort into things,
It's amazing how much is accomplished through the simple things, and I think that is exemplified in the community, and we are so grateful that you're a part of it. Thank you so much, Lindsay.
Thank you.
Awesome. We'll go ahead. Anything else you want to cover before we end?
No, I think that was great.
I think it's great, too. We'll call it a wrap here on 98.3 The Wildlife. That was Lindsay Holmes, and we're so grateful for her for being on our program today. Special thanks to Mound Valley Cattle Company out of Thatcher, Idaho. Eddie and Todd Jensen always wishing the Rebels good luck in all that they do. Let's go ahead and take one more quick break, and then we'll dip into our coaches show. We'll go ahead and hear from Coach Reed Anderson, touching up a little bit on Monticello, and then we'll hear from Coach Grohl. And then you'll be stuck listening to me. Luckily, you'll have Colin Pace to break up a little bit of the mundane announcing a little bit. And we'll get into this football game. Let's go ahead. One more break here on 98.3. This has been a Bear Lake Community Health Center presentation of Rich Rebel Football on mylocalradio.com.
As high school sports fans, we know that sometimes you have to drive a long way to get to the next game. If you find yourself on the side of the road, remember that Freeway Tire in Evanston offers service calls and roadside assistance 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It's a great idea to have your vehicle serviced, tires checked, and oil changed to make sure it's in top shape before your next long drive. Visit Freeway Tire today, your locally owned and operated tire shop. Freeway Tire, 217 Bear River Drive, Evanston.
Welcome back to Auto Farm Chevrolet pregame show. We're going to go ahead into the coaches show. Our coaches show here, brought to you by Bear Lake Memorial Hospital in Montpelier. Let's go ahead and hear from Coach Reed Anderson first. This is Coach Anderson talking a little bit about the Monticello Buckaroos. Coach Anderson, take it away. Welcome, Rich Rebel fans, to another segment of the Coaches Show. We are now joined with Reed Anderson of Monticello, entering his 4th season as head coach at his alma mater. Coach Anderson. Welcome, Rich. Coach Anderson, how the heck are you?
We're doing all right. We're used to this cold weather, so it's going to be quite a nice little day.
Coach, we're going to be in for quite the treat. It's going to be one of those classic snow games. Do you feel like your offense is prepped to kind of play in this kind of inclement weather?
It can be, and a lot of it's just going to depend on, we've practiced in stuff like this. It just depends on how well we respond to it and how wet we can keep it in. We've tried to take as many precautions as we can. Obviously, it isn't ideal compared to some things, but, we've done this before, so I'm hoping we can just continue with it.
Coach Anderson, it's great to have you on. You have 2 wins on the season against Grand County and Whitehorse. Small schools, it's great to get those under your belt. What kind of went well that you really liked in those wins against those 2 schools that you saw from your team?
Well, we start Grand County. They're close to us. They're a big, I think they're 2A this year, but have been 3A in the past. And the biggest thing was, it's kind of a little rivalry game for our kids. And it was a little bit of a bragging point. And we hadn't played them in a few years, and we wanted to go in there and make a difference. And we kind of had the belief in, it was game 1, so both teams obviously make a lot of mistakes, and it was trying to make the least amount or capitalize on the ones that are the biggest. And we took some risks. Right at the end of the first half, we got the ball back about 45 seconds, and we decided we were going to take the risk and try and go 80 yards and score, and we did, which normally is not necessarily our forte. So, those kids stepped up big. That was so when we had, Devin at quarterback, where he was very calm and collected, had done this many times, which, showed great leadership. And I think that was the biggest thing in that week 1 was we had great leaders on the field that knew what they needed to do to get the job done.
Coach,
against Whitehorse, it was the other way around. We were kind of the more experienced team and kind of, just executed a lot better than we had in the past.
Coach, you touched up on Devin Hatch, your quarterback, who is unfortunately down with injury at the moment. You've had an opportunity to have another player step up. McDonald has thrown for almost 1,000 yards so far coming in at quarterback. What does he do to your offense that maybe is different in terms of dynamics when he comes out onto the field?
He's young, so he's a little less analytical than Devin is. He's more like when Devin was a sophomore 3 years ago. He kind of plays more on instinct and swagger, I guess is the right word. And, a lot of times that's kind of what you need in there. You need someone that's just confident and has a little bit of swagger that can execute, even if it's the wrong read. He believes that he can make it. And, that's worked out for him quite a few times. And there's been a few times this year where that has kind of been a little disaster. But, so we can kind of bank on the fact that he'll make the read that he thinks is best, not necessarily the right order or the most logical or analytical. And so it's a little different coaching that. It kind of takes me back 3 or 4 years. But it also allows you to maybe make a few different play calls you normally wouldn't, because you figure that you might just try and make a play out of it.
Coach, it's great to see you guys coming up to Randolph. We welcome you to the cold and the snow. Rich and Monticello have a lot of parallels, both in how the season has played out, as well as being a small school. You, as head coach, have had to fill a lot of holes on both sides of the ball due to injury, as well as graduation last year. Coach, who has stepped up this year for your team and taken the lead?
So we had a few returners there that, had really just, on the offensive line, we had one returning starter, and he kind of, took those kids and said, hey, we can do this. We had Logan Draper, receiver, that kind of, and Tate Ramsey, and they kind of said, hey, we can do this. Step around us. This is how you do this. Kind of brought those younger kids up. We moved Javelin Robinson over from quarterback to running back, and that's suited him much better. He's a much more aggressive player there, which is suited to the game. So trying to move people around and make adjustments. This was a strange year for us, as our junior class used to be the biggest and is now the smallest due to, people moving or, things like that. People that decide they want to do something different. And so it's gone from the biggest to the smallest. And so a lot of those, sophomores like Zach Bang or Thomas Fulmer that normally wouldn't have stepped into a role have had to do so. And so that's been good.
My question to you, really, my last one as part of this interview and part of our pregame show, is the state tournament is rolling around. Both Rich and Monticello really are coming in. Nobody wants to come in to lose this game. What would it mean for your team to win the last regular season game to get ready for the state playoffs?
The biggest thing we've struggled with so far this year is being consistent on the run game, which really sets up our pass game, much like most teams do with your play actions and things. So, if we can establish that, it's going to make a big difference going forward in terms of next week, where you go, where you play, that sort of thing. So, we've just got to, Rich is bigger than they've been in the past. They've got some big boys up front. So, that's been a big focus. Like, hey, we've got our work cut out for us. They look bigger than North Summit to me, which is a challenge because North Summit was a challenge for us up front as well. So that's kind of going to be our goal there.
Reed Anderson of Monticello, can't thank him enough for joining our pregame show today. Coach Anderson, best of luck out on the field, and make sure you wear a couple coats out there today.
Oh, I'll have my shorts on. Don't you?
All right, that's great. Great flex by Coach Anderson. Thanks so much. We'll go ahead and step aside here on 98.3 The Wildlife. That was Coach Reed Anderson of Monticello. You're tuned into a Bear Lake Memorial Hospital pregame show. This has been part of our Auto Farm Chevrolet pregame show. Once we get back, we'll hear from Coach Grohl, and you'll hear a little bit more from both Colin Pace and myself as we dive a little bit more into this game. This has been a Bear Lake Community Health Center presentation of Rich High Rebel football on KADQ with video coverage online at mylocalradio.com.
For years, people from all over have counted on the competent staff and first-class facilities at Bear Lake Memorial Hospital in Montpelier, Idaho. Consistently named one of the top rural hospitals in the country, Bear Lake Memorial Hospital provides a wide range of treatments no matter what you need. Whether it be a simple visit to their expanded ER, a visit to their in-house MRI machine, or if you need more advanced treatments like chemotherapy or dialysis. The staff at Bear Lake Memorial Hospital cares about your health and will do everything they can to help you. Bear Lake Memorial Hospital in Montpelier, Idaho, the most caring hospital on earth.
Welcome back, Rich Rebel fans. Let's go hear from Coach Grohl on our pregame show as part of our Bear Lake Memorial Hospital Coaches Show. Here we go. Here's Coach Grohl. Welcome, Rich Rebel fans, here on the Coach's Corner. Coach Grohl is in the building with us. And Coach Grohl, it's great to have you as always. We're getting ready for Monticello this week. What is the feeling? What's the vibe, I guess, as we come into the last game of the regular season?
I think the kids are actually excited. We finally got everybody back, and we really played well. So I think that they finally got a feeling of belief back into them a little bit.
Well, from my perspective as a broadcaster, I saw so much fire, and these kids were coming out. They were hitting people in the mouth, and they were running around. And I guess from your perspective, where did that come from throughout the week?
We kind of just we've been trying to get them to do that for quite a while, and I think having all the team back again just kind of fired them up. They relied on each other, and they finally was able to do their job and not try to cover for somebody else at the same time. And so it caused a lot of ripple effects, and so we was able to do that.
You had a lot of kids come back from injury, including Max Perry, who suffered a really bad injury against Milford, and he came back with so much fire, and it was such a great
had such great offensive production. What's it like having him back, and what does he bring?
Well, he brings a little bit more speed back to us, and he's really good with the ball. He sees the field very well, and so he was a big part of what we was able to do. It took some pressure off of Riker, Conk, and Riley, and even Trey, so that they was able to spread things out, and they had to worry about more than just one, maybe two people.
Your offense was able to move the ball quite consistently, especially in the first half. It could be attributed to many things, but from your perspective, what was the biggest factor as to why this time the ball was just moving with ease against North Summit?
Well, like I said, I think a lot of it's just we finally got everybody back, and we started to believe in each other. There wasn't quite the belief before, because there's not, you always had, well, maybe if he was here, and by doing that, then they started trying to overthink everything and trying to do too much. They tried to do somebody else's job at the same time, and they were just spreading themselves out too thin.
Coach, you're coming up against Monticello. They run a spread offense. Even though your offensive scheme's a little bit different, the parallels as to how the seasons have gone, very important for a win for both Monticello and for Rich. What's needed to get a win out before the regular season ends?
Well, one of the things is we've got to stop their pass attack. They really like to pass it, and then they'll get you really sucked out there, and then they'll come in on a dive or an RPO, and so we've got to be able to stop that, and then let the line and the linebackers pick up that back and be able to, then the quarterback, and be able to just shut that down so that we can stop that passing attack.
Coach, it was really great to see defense also was on for quite a while in the first half, and a lot of it had to be attributed to the linebacking core and the front seven. What went into practice that week to really help them find that energy to get out and going?
Well, we just said, it's time that you guys don't play scared. Go throw yourselves around and go 100%, and then things will happen. And they finally started believing each other, and then started to do that a little bit. So that's where I think, they finally decided, okay, let's go 100% and see what happens.
What can a coaching staff do to carry that momentum into the next week?
I hope that they got some success and they saw what can happen if they just will. And so that's what we're trying to have them do, is say, hey, this can be another game. This is a very winnable game, but you have to come out and play for 4 quarters.
Coach Grohl, thanks again so much for your time. I think that's enough for me. Anything from your end?
No, I think that's good. Thank you.
Coach Grohl, here on the Coach's Corner, we'll get ready for Monticello.
With Town and Country Realty, selling Bear Lake in Utah and Idaho. Call Pam Cornea today at 435-779-0012. Here we go. We'll dip now into the green scene. It is a little bit overcast, quite cloudy here. I don't know about you, Colin, but did you like playing football in the cold?
Not so much the cold, but when it was snowy, that was the fun games to me.
Right. It's exciting to go ahead and jump into the snow, get some snow angels going. If it was too cold, it felt as though I had a cement block on my head, but it's not terrible out there. Probably about, maybe a little bit higher than what I have. Probably, around 40 degrees.
Yeah, roughly there somewhere.
It's good. We're fine. We have quite a few fans out here to support the Rich High Rebels. I see fellow student Annie Peart waving the Rebel, the white flag. Well, not for surrender, but it says Rebels on it. That's unfortunate that it's white, and I kind of commentated on that. There you go. It's prideful. It's something good. So, what is it like to be able to come out here? What makes Rich a little bit different in coming out and watching a football game?
It's a community thing. It's not just the school. That usually everybody's involved, and it's the whole community, the whole county, that gets involved in all our Rich High sports, and it's nice to see. And you don't just have a select few that show up. It's usually the whole county. It's a different experience here. It's more like your West Texas type football.
There you go.
Than anywhere else. So
I like it. Who needs to travel to Texas, right? Not me. We're getting ready for the Rich Rebels to take on the Monticello Buckaroos. This has been the green scene. Overcast, quite a little bit cold. Not the snow that I had quite promised on my earlier radio program in Evanston, or that I promised to Coach Anderson here. But nonetheless, grab your mittens and grab your overcoat. And if you're here in Randolph, come on down and support this team. That's been the green scene. Special thanks to Pam Cornea with Town and Country Realty in Garden City for sponsoring today's Green Scene. We're about minutes away from kickoff. When we return, we'll look back to the last time these two teams met. You're listening to a Bear Lake Community Health Center presentation of Rich Rebel football on 98.3 as well as on mylocalradio.com.
Success is no accident. It comes from constant hard work, perseverance, sacrifice, and learning from failure. Laketown Mayor Burdette Weston and council members Dallas Clark, Chris Hodges, Gary Ogilvie, and Delora White encourage the Rich High Rebels to continue to do whatever it takes to succeed in academics, activities, and athletics. The town council and citizens of Laketown celebrate the success of all the students and staff in the Rich School District.
Welcome back, Rich Rebel fans. We're getting ready now. We're recognizing quite a few seniors on this team. Getting super excited. Colin, tell me a little bit. You've been around this program. What has this senior class really done? What's been kind of the mantra for this senior class?
This senior class has always been involved in everything. You got Eli Brooks and Riker Conk that really have a real good shot at state at wrestling this year, and you've got Buckwheat and Hayden, Riley Creo and Tyler or Nathan Woods that will come out and play basketball. They give their all. They have fun. They're a fun class.
I know that I've gotten to know quite a few of these wonderful young men, and it's good to see there. We got some fat heads or some cutouts over here of each of these seniors, and it's just super exciting to recognize them. You learn how to become a man in football, and I'm really going to stand by that. That's where I felt like I did, and it's good to have each of them learn good experiences out here. Is there anything that you feel like sports taught you in terms of life?
Just to give your all always and go as hard as you can. When you give 100%, it's worth every bit of it in the end. No matter the outcome, you always feel satisfied with yourself.
Absolutely. Could not say it better myself. And here we go. We're recognizing quite a few of our seniors now as we see Buckwheat, Riley Carrillo, Bricker Butler. Who else do we got out
Eli
there?
Brooks.
Eli Brooks, Riker Conk. What an amazing group of young men that have come out here and just put so much out onto the gridiron and so much into academics. They've been so great as part of the school.
You got big old James McKinnon coming out now, 4-year starter for Rich.
Absolutely.
Hayden Weston coming out, 3-year starter. Most of these kids out here have been 3-year starters, with James being a 4-year starter.
It's incredible.
Tyler Woods, and you got Hannah Rex as a manager.
What an amazing – I like the cutouts here. Good stuff. I need to get one.
And you got Stewie Anderson. He's been a big part of this team this year as a manager. They've all enjoyed him. He's a good kid to be around, pretty funny.
Thank you, seniors.
Thank you so much, seniors, and good luck today as you take on the Buckaroos. We mentioned that we talked a little bit more about, the Buckaroos have seniors of their own, and we're grateful that they came out to Randolph today to take on the Rich Rebels here on the gridiron. Let's go ahead and look now into our Laketown Ledger. Our Laketown Ledger is part of our Auto Farm Chevrolet pregame show. Auto Farm Chevrolet serving residents of Rich County for generations. Taking a look at the last time these two teams met on the Laketown Ledger, brought to you by the town of Laketown, was on the 15th of 2020. That is a 42-19 victory for the Buckaroos. Did you happen to be at that game at all?
I was. I haven't missed many games past few years with my kids being involved.
There you go. Anything that stood out to you in particular? I mean, the score wasn't the way that we wanted it to be, but
to me it was a lot like last week's game. We come out with a little fire and played good, and then I don't know why we let up, but we ended up letting up. If we can put 4 quarters together, I think we can compete with any team in the division.
I'm 100% with you. I really think, and it kind of showed when we went out and played such an amazing first half against North Summit, and now we get a chance to take on Monticello. It should be great. Rich leads this series 14-9 all time, and hopefully we can add a number 5 onto that 1-5 today, as the Rich Rebels hopefully going to be able to put out their best effort, as we have our seniors coming out to be a couple of our captains here. We've got Riley Carrillo. We have Hayden Weston, Riker Conk, as well as Eli Brooks. That's a pretty star-studded number 4 captains right there, if you ask me. They're going to go ahead and exchange pleasantries before the gladiator fights happen in just a minute. We're getting ready. Our white hat officiating today. Our officiating crew dressed up real nice and warm, as it is quite cold out here. Luckily, I don't have to deal with that. Neither I nor Colin up here. We have space heaters and, catered to our every need. It's good stuff. We're all packed up here in the booth. And as the time kind of ticks away, let's go ahead and take our last break, and then we'll get the results of the coin toss. This has been a Bear Lake Community Health Center presentation of Rich Rebel football on 98.3 as well as on mylocalradio.com.
Whether you're kicking up dust in the hills, making waves down on the lake, or taking advantage of the world's greatest powder, don't just hope to have fun. Take that sled by the handlebars and make your time at Bear Lake epic. Epic Recreation rents equipment and cabins for your vacation fun at beautiful Bear Lake. From watercraft large and small to UTVs, sleds, and more, Epic Recreation has it all to go on-road, off-road, or out on the Caribbean blue water. Book your adventure at epicrecreation.net.
Welcome back, Rich Rebel fans. Your Rich Rebels, I don't know if they won the toss, but they nonetheless will receive. What are your thoughts on, deferring or receiving the ball? Would you rather have defense or offense first, Colin?
I think with this team, I'd rather see defense on the field first, just to set the tone. We don't have that big play capability with our speed, so I think I'd rather see defense just to set the tone of the game myself.
There we go. That's a little bit of an insight. We'll go ahead and take 1 second as the presentation of colors are being presented on the north end zone.
Will you please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And there we go. Great work by the cheer squad to go out there and lead us in the presentation of colors. We're getting ready for kickoff now. Colin, we saw a great first half last week against North Summit, and the second half didn't really happen to go the way that we wanted it to. What do you feel like is the key to sustaining it over 4 quarters?
Last week, I think it was a few calls that didn't go our way or weren't called, and it kind of deflated us. We need to not worry about what's going on, just do our jobs and come out 4 quarters strong and not worry about what the officials or what the opposing team's doing. Just do our job and play our game.
There you go. I agree with you. Just go ahead and do your absolute very best. You obviously, during a football game, want to key on certain aspects of what you can do best. Up next, we're going to have our Epic Recreation keys to the game. Epic Recreation, make your next vacation epic with rentals in Bear Lake. Visit epicrecreation.net today. This is part of our Auto Farm Chevrolet pregame show. We're no longer in the pregame show, really, as now we are dipping into live action. What do you feel like is the biggest key for Rich in order to, make this really come out strong and make this work?
I think we have to control the ball, keep their fast-paced throwing ability off the field, and keep our offense and just make our line drive or our long drive capability and just take that and go.
Keeping control of the ball is key, as exactly that is what Rich does on the opening kickoff. That is number 55, Eli Brooks, jumping on the squib kick. They're going to be able to take over on offense around the 37-yard line. nearer to the right hash. We're getting kicked off, and away we go. Special thanks to our boosters, Walmart, as well as Atlas Home Care and Hospice, and Precision Family Dental, Comprehensive Family Dental. That opening kickoff was brought to you by the town of Woodruff. Here comes the Rich Rebels out onto the field. They have trips out to the left. Pace will be under center with a running back directly behind him. We get a hard count here from Pace. He's going to get the snap and hand it off immediately to the right. He's going to be met after a little bit of a dive call there to the right. 2-yard pickup. And I guess that's the run you want to kind of get set into the game.
Yeah, we had Thomas Fuller, a sophomore, and Nick Lindell on the tackle there.
There you go. As here we go, and off we go and away, starting off with a dive out to the right. We're now located on the right hash, right at the 40-yard line. 2nd down and 7. This time in I formation, 2 wide receivers out to the left with. Here they go. They're going to read off of the dive, and Pace will keep it himself and run up the hole. There he goes. He has space to the 40, to the 30. Right up the hashes he will go. That is going to be a touchdown for your Rich Rebels. What an amazing run by Pace. He read it perfectly. And off he goes. Read right off of Conk, rolled out to his left, and then cut off his offensive lineman. Right up the middle he went, and away he goes. He's got, must get his speed from his dad or something like that.
It's got to be from his mother or even my dad. I heard my dad used to float like a gazelle, so
there you go.
Definitely didn't come from me.
There you go, a 2-play, 70-yard drive almost, as Trey Walker comes up to attempt the PAT. Snap is down, and the ball is up. That is way high in the air, but nonetheless, it goes through the uprights. Good. That is a touchdown and a PAT attempt. Good by Trey Walker, and your Rich Rebels are up 7-0 after a quarterback keeper from Hunter Pace goes about 60 yards to the house. He goes for a touchdown. Your Rich Rebels up. Let's go ahead, take a breather here on 98.3. This has been a Bear Lake Community Health Center presentation of Rich Rebel football on 98.3 as well as on mylocalradio.com.
Sometimes you just start craving a really good, juicy burger. Add cheese, maybe some bacon, and all the fixins that make every bite even better than the bite before it. Add a side of hand-cut fries, onion rings, or crisp tater tots, and top it off with an amazing ice cream cone. Or maybe a raspberry shake. Just thinking about it makes me hungry. When your stomach is grumbling like an angry bear and your cravings call out, head right down to the Crawford Trough in Randolph. The place to eat and drink. Stop in today.
Welcome back, Rich Rebel fans. After a quarterback keeper and a 60-yard run by quarterback Hunter Pace, your Rich Rebels are up 7-0 here with just under 10 minutes left in the first quarter, brought to you by the Crawford Trough in Randolph, the place to eat and drink. Colin, can't really start off much better than that, can you?
No, that was a good read by Hunter. He pulled the ball, and then the end come out to get him, and he just tucked it inside and right down the middle of the field for 60-yard TD.
Well, I think that's pretty dang exciting, at least on my end, and everybody in the fans were screaming. We got all of our students here being rowdy, doing rowdy right. Here they go as we're trying to keep the ball on the tee. Your Rich Rebels will be kicking off. This is a Town of Woodruff kickoff brought to you by Mayor Scott Saby of Woodruff. Here they go. Hunter Pace lines up and boots it, and this is going to be a little bit short kick right on the 35-yard line. It will be picked up by Monticello. Down the sideline he goes, down to the 42. On their own 42, that is where Monticello picks up. And if you're Monticello, what's your game plan? What's the thing you got to do?
In the stop there. Game plan, we got to get pressure on their quarterback. That's their game, is a passing game, so we've got to get in the backfield and stir things up a little bit back there.
A spread offense is a little bit difficult, especially when you have limited amount of kids out there. Here comes Monticello, first down and 10 from the 41. Here we go. Here comes Jay McDonald of Monticello. McDonald Looks, sends a man in motion out to his right in the shotgun. He's going to go ahead and hand off right up the middle. They're going to be swallowed up in the backfield for a 1 yard loss. That's Weston. Read it perfectly, and that's what you want out of your D-line if you're Rich. Here they go. They're not going to waste any time whatsoever. It is 2nd down and 11. McDonald in the shotgun with trips out to his right on the near sideline. Here he goes. He'll go ahead and roll out to his right. Look down the field. He has a man open at the 40. He's going to be caught at the 40. Trey Walker comes in and downs him as he's spun and rolled out of bounds right at the 36-yard line. Busted coverage on that one, Colin.
Yeah, a little bit of busted coverage. I don't think Trey Walker got over there quite fast enough. We've got to get some pressure in that backfield so he doesn't have that time.
There we go. That's a great completion. 9:20 left in the first quarter, brought to you by the Crawford Trough. In the shotgun, he's going to go ahead and throw it out to the trips to his right. 2 Rebels there to wrap him up right at the line of scrimmage here on the near sideline. That's just a little bubble pass out to the wide receiver there. Number 11, Logan Draper.
Hunter Pace and Max Perry there on the tackle.
Perry, Pace. There we go. Realignment of the offense. We're going to have quads out here on the near sideline, and McDonald will be in the shotgun at the 36-yard line, 2nd down and 9. He gets the snap, looks out to his left. He's going to have a fumble on the field. He's going to be wrapped up, and the ball will be fouled on.
Monticello got it.
Monticello will fall onto the ball, and the ball fallen onto right at the 47-yard line, closer to midfield. That's a huge play by Riker Conk. They sent him on a blitz there, and away he goes. No one was going to stop him on that one. 3rd down, and it seems as though it's about 20. Can't imagine that you have a whole lot of play calls for 3rd and this long, Colin.
No, a lot of teams right here like to run a screen. And I think if they had that Ewert, they'd probably take a deep pass to him.
McDonald will step up in the pocket and get wrapped up by the defensive line of Rich. That's number 53, Hayden Weston. So after a fumble and then a sack, 4th down and 25 facing Monticello, and they're right at their own 49-yard line. Great rip move I saw there.
Yeah, heck of a – our defensive lines really come out strong here, just like we need to get pressure on McDonald.
McDonald now in the shotgun, trips out to his left. They're not necessarily in punt formation. Could see some sort of those weird short punts that we see as Trey Walker is back at his own 25 to receive it. Donald gets the snap, and here comes the short punt. It's going to go up and away, and it'll go right to Walker. Walker's going to decide to stay away from it. It will roll down to the 10-yard line. So after the sack and the fumble, Monticello will punt and pin the Rebels back at their own 10-yard line. But overall, great showing by the defense there, Colin.
Yeah, it was. We come up big there right after the score. We just got to keep the pressure on them and keep pushing down the field.
There you go. Keep everything in front of you and keep your foot on the gas. They are up currently 7-0. Your Rich Rebels in the lead here with about 7 minutes left in the first quarter, brought to you by the Crawford Trough. Now on offense, 1st down and 10 from their own 10. Pace will be under center. He'll go ahead and read and then fall forward. Actually, Pace is still up on his feet. I thought he was wrapped up initially, but he's going to turn that into a 5-yard gain. Bounced off a couple defensive linemen, and then forward he went.
I think he pulled that ball and realized he should have kept it or gave it, so he just followed Riker through the hole there.
Well, there you go. 2 people. He just turned Conk into a lead blocker. Little improv there by quarterback Pace, and I guess it pays off for him there. 2nd down and 4 coming up from the 15-yard line. 6.5 minutes, Pace under center. He's going to get it and roll out to his left, and the ball will be fumbled, and that is Max Perry, I believe, who's able to scoop that one up, but not after he loses about 10 yards. Fumbled exchange on the reversal back there kind of leads to some lost yardage that were really going. I mean, the Rebels were in good position there on 2nd down and 4, and then, it just takes one play to turn things around.
Loss of 10 on that play.
3rd down and probably about 15, maybe 14. coming up. They're now at their own 5-yard line. Pace will be in the shotgun now. He has 2 wide receivers to either side of him. They're located on the left hash, going from right to left on your radio dial. There's going to be a whole bunch of linemen, and they're going to go ahead and drag down Pace, but I believe that he got the ball out just before he was dragged down in the end zone. Lucky for him.
Good thing Riker was right there, so we didn't get the intentional grounding.
I think it bounced off of Riker, incomplete. 4th down and 15 after a fumbled exchange on the reverse is going to lead to a stall by the Rich Rebel offense.
I think that was that screen they like to run to Carrillo there, and he couldn't find him, so he just kind of flipped it out to Conk and avoided the safety.
There you go. Probably the smartest thing to do, and now Pace is in the back of his own end zone ready to punt. He gets it high up in the air off of the side of his foot. It's going to go down and probably get
Not a very
dropped,
good punt.
dropped at the 15-yard line. It's going to be shanked off probably the side of his foot. Doesn't go down very far, and the Monticello Buckaroos are going to be in good field position right there. It takes all 3 facets of the game there, Colin, and when one of them kind of, it just takes one play.
Yes, it
one
does.
play.
Defense needs to step up big here, push them back to the 50 again. It'd be real nice.
Would be nice as our defense for the Rich Rebels now back out onto the field. It is 5.5 minutes left in the first quarter. McDonald with trips out to his left, located on the left hash. He's going to throw it out there really quickly for a screen, wide receiver screen, and then will get brought down after about a 3-yard gain.
Looks like Carter Hoffman, the freshman, on the stop there.
There we go. We get some underclassmen getting in some valuable reps.
Gain of 3.
Monticello seems as though they don't want to huddle up terrible amount as they're back out onto the field getting ready to go. McDonald in the same position formation. It looked as though someone kind of left early. Pressure up the middle, and then that ball will be knocked up in the air. It almost seemed as though we had a chance to intercept that ball.
We definitely did. We had sophomore Wyatt Shoup there after the hit by Hunter. I mean, that was a good defensive play by Hunter Pace there. Good hard hit, popped the ball out, and I don't think Wyatt seen the ball.
There you go. That's an incompletion after the ball got popped out. Kind of getting hit at the same time the ball comes. McDonald's going to roll out to his right in shotgun. He'll throw across his body, find a man down to the 5-yard line. It's going to be close to the first down yardage. He'll be short.
It's like about the 8.
There we go. Finds his man, Logan Draper, there for quite a completion. That's a 7-yard completion as he rolled out to his right. They were located on the left hash. And McDonald able to find a few of his receivers early on some short passes. Out they come again as now they're going to split the field with 2 wide receivers to either side. It's 4th down and 2 coming up for the Buckaroos. McDonald gets Rich to move and flinch, but there is no flag out on the field, and Coach Anderson will take a timeout. They'll go ahead and think about this 4th down call as, you've been having success through the air. Are you rolling with a run up the middle, or are you going to try and throw it out there and get some space at your wide receivers?
Here, I don't know. I think you'd almost a play action the way they're throwing the ball, so try to draw them in the middle with the dive and then throw it to the outside or something to a receiver.
Why not? I thought as though Rich was going to get called for some type of offsides. They did flinch. I did not have a perfect angle from up here in the booth. Nonetheless, Coach Anderson will take a timeout to think a little bit more about this 4th down and 2 coming up. Very detrimental for the Buckaroos to answer as Rich has gone up 7-0 on their opening drive. We have about 4 minutes and 45 seconds left. Here we go.
This might be a misdirection play. I think the quarterback might go that other way.
There we go. Direct snap there, and he's going to be met in the hole. It's going to be close.
It's
Needs to
gonna
get
be
down
real
to the 8.
close.
Direct snap back there to Robinson.
There we go. They're going to be very
First
close.
down, Rich.
It's going to be a turnover on downs.
Did not get the first down, so the Rebels will take over on downs.
There we go. Turnover on downs. The Rich Rebels will get it. That is a Town of Garden City turnover where families play at beautiful Bear Lake. Visit gardencity.ut.us. Here we go. The Rich Rebels now with the ball on offense. Made the stop on defense, and now Pace in I formation under center. Carrillo, I believe, is in the back. He's going to get a snap and cut up from right to left to spin off of a defender and then get sandwiched at the 10-yard line. Good cut and a broken tackle there by Carrillo. He runs hard.
Yes, he does. He runs hard. I wish he would duck his shoulder a little more instead of running straight up and down because he's got some speed if we can get him to the open field.
He's got the length in order to do that. As you know, it's hard sometimes to try and get a little bit lower on that kind of stuff.
3 yards. It'll be 2nd and 7.
Here we go. Up again, 2nd down and 6 coming up. Pace under center. Pace under center with 2 wide receivers out to the left. He's going to roll out to his right and try and find a man, and it's going to be incomplete. That's intended for Stonehouse, I believe.
Rich is looking for pass interference. They're not going to get it.
I don't believe they will, as that was pretty close. Either the ball was too far out in front of Stonehouse to really be catchable. I don't think that the interference was going to impede his ability to catch that one.
Big 3rd down play here. We need to convert this one.
Here we go, 3rd down and 7 coming up for the Rebels. So he's going to have 2 wide receivers out to the left. They're going from right to left on your radio dial. End around he goes. Carrillo will get the ball. He has room. Cuts up the middle. He has space.
And he's
down
gone.
to the 40, 50. Nobody is going to catch Carrillo as he's going to get this handoff down to the goal line. Touchdown, Rebels. That is an end around. I believe that it was a similar play to what they had when they fumbled initially on their last offensive possession. Am I wrong?
It's just a counter play. They pull the tackle and bring the tackle out to take out that defensive end. It opened up Carrillo, and like I said, if he gets out in the open field, he's got some speed.
There we go. As Carrillo able to take it to the house. That's a long touchdown run. Probably about a 85-yard touchdown run for Riley Carrillo, getting that counter end around, and nobody was going to catch him. Turned on the Jets, and immediately he goes. And your Rich Rebels are up 13-0 pending PAT. Down.
Trey's
Ball is up and good. Sneaks right inside the right upright and good. 14-0. Your Rich Rebels in the lead against Monticello. And we'll go ahead and take a step aside here as we have been listening to a Bear Lake Community Health Center presentation of Rich Rebel football on KADQ as well as on mylocalradio.com.
Success doesn't come by accident. Success requires hard work, perseverance, learning, sacrifice, and believing in yourself. Eddie and Todd Jensen established the Mound Valley Cattle Company in Thatcher, Idaho on these very principles. The students, staff, athletes, and coaches at Rich High School value these same fundamentals in education and activities, in athletics, and in life. Good luck, Rebels, from Mound Valley Cattle Company, serving customers in Utah, Idaho, and Wyoming since 1997.
America keeps moving, and Auto Farm Chevrolet is here to help you keep rolling. Whether you need a brand new vehicle or service on one you already own, Auto Farm Chevrolet is here to lend a helping hand. Our certified mechanics are knowledgeable, and our sales team takes the time to get to know you and what your needs are. Stop in today, Auto Farm Chevrolet, 624 Front Street, Evanston. Evanston's community-driven dealer.
Welcome back, Rich Rebel fans. With about 3.5 minutes left in the first quarter, brought to you by the Crawford Trough. Your Rich Rebels are up 14-0 off of 2 massive runs by Hunter Pace and Riley Carrillo, respectively. Here comes the kickoff. It's kind of a little squib short kick. It's going to go out of bounds, and we're going to get a legal procedure on that kickoff, Colin.
Yeah, it's going to go out of bounds right at about the 35, which is where it would be spotted anyway. So
well, there you
we'll
go.
See what they do here.
They
could request a re-kick, too.
That's also possible. It seems as though they sent their offense out onto the field as Monticello will get the ball at their own 35. Great field position. It could be that the ball is...
I bet it's real hard.
I think it's ice ball. I think it's kind of an ice ball.
Let's see. They gave the ball back to Monticello, so they...
Here we go. We get a
procedure penalty, so they're going to give him 5 yards past the.
I see. So down to the 39-yard line, Monticello will get the ball.
So the ball is placed at the 39, where it'll be first down.
Here comes the Buckaroos. They've got a receiver on an island out to the left, 2 wide receivers out on the near side. They're located on the left hash, and they send a man out in motion to the right. He's going to fake to that motion man. McDonald will try and step up in the pocket and get dropped. The ball seemed to come out, but the ball, they're going to be called down initially. 2nd down and 11 coming up. I'm doing bad math there. That's why I'm not in an engineering profession.
Riley Carrillo does his job at DN, sends him back to the inside, and the sophomore Wyatt Shoup with the sack.
There you go. Great stuff as he gets pretty close to the line of scrimmage, probably 2nd down and 11, as we initially called. Right there on the left hash. He tried to step up in the pocket and then got forced, his hand and his direction forced by Riley Carrillo. Great stuff there as your Rich Rebels currently up 14-0 with under 3 minutes left in the first quarter, brought to you by the Crawford Trough. From what I hear, it's the place to eat and drink.
That's what they tell me.
That's what they tell me, too. And it's good. McDonald with 2 running backs splitting him. They're going to send the man in motion out to the right again and a pitch out to the right. Here comes Logan, and Logan will cut back and get dropped for a loss of about 1. That's Logan Draper getting the pitch out to the right, and they're just going to flop hashes, basically. 3rd down and 12 coming up.
Same thing there. Riley does his job at DN, puts him back inside, and Eli Brooks and Wyatt Shoup on the tackle.
Here we go. As your Rich Rebel defense really stepping up and doing a great job here. McDonald in the shotgun, trips out to his left. He's going to fake the dive in the middle, step up into the pocket, and get dropped.
That's
down
Wyatt
at the
Shoup,
35.
Sophomore again.
Wyatt Shoup, what a man. He's going out there as a sophomore underclassman, really making his presence known, as now it is 4th down and 14 coming up for Monticello at the 35-yard line. On their own 35. Here we go. I would expect a punt from Monticello in their own territory. McDonald in the shotgun will step up. Carrillo almost got a piece of that one. Trey Walker fields it at the 35, turns it upfield, and then bounces off a couple people. Down to the 50 he goes. He has room to the 40, 30, cuts across McDonald's face and to the end zone. Trey Walker on a punt return will score. Wow. You love to see it. No flags out on the play. Let me double check. No, Trey Walker will go ahead and get a 65-yard punt return.
He ran hard there, got a hole, bounced off one tackle, and just had the punter to beat, and he does that.
Your score now on the Station on Main scoreboard, 20-0, as the most recent points capped off by Trey Walker on a 65-yard punt return. We welcome you if you're joining us on 98.3 KADQ or on mylocalradio.com. Here comes the PAT attempt from Walker. Kick is up and good. We're 3 for 3 on PATs. Hot diggity daffodil. This is Cody Olson here in Randolph. And your Rebels up 21-0. Just a minute separates us from the second quarter. We're currently still in the first quarter. Let's take a quick moment and dip into our Bear Lake Realty fan cam, as we're going to go ahead and see our couple of our fans out here on our fan cam. Your new home in Bear Lake is just one phone call away. Call 435-946-8888. Special thanks to Martin, our star cameraman here today. He's coming out, helping us out, and showing us what camera work is all about. I'm a poet, and I didn't even know it. Here we go as we're getting ready for the Town of Woodruff kickoff. Your Rich Rebels up 21-0. 1 minute and 4 seconds separate us from the second quarter. And if you ask me, this has been quite the first quarter and something you'd love to see if you're a Rich Rebel fan.
Definitely. This is showing these kids, like we talked about in pregame, that they do have the talent to do this. They've got to come out and do it and execute.
Here we go. Kick from Pace. This time he gets really underneath it, and that ball is going to go out of bounds. I jinxed him. I said it while it was in the air, and it's going to take a Monticello bounce, and it will be an illegals procedure penalty. You know what? I frankly wouldn't want to be kicking the ball right now. Kind of cold. They'll go ahead and march the ball all the way. I think they're going to re-kick it.
That's what it looks like to me. They want to re-kick this one.
There we go. Well, I'm going to tell you this. Go ahead.
I don't think they want to give Hunter that chance.
Maybe they're just trying to see how many times you can kick a cement block without missing a toe or two.
So now he'll kick from the 35 instead of the 40.
Well, I got to say this so far. Your Rich Rebels doing a fantastic job in execution and doing it in multiple facets. Defense, stellar. Offense, moving the ball, and even special teams coming out. It's pretty sweet. Now they're going to go ahead and move him back about 5 yards. Pace will kick off from the 35. I believe the football field is 53 yards wide. There he goes again.
Out of bounds again.
It's going to go out of bounds one more time. Your Rich Rebels are going to get pegged with an illegal procedure call again. If I was Monticello, I'd just keep pushing them back until, the ball goes into play.
Well, knowing Hunter as well as I do, he'll get mad enough. He'll put a foot to one.
Probably. Let's, you know what? Let's a friendly wager. Let's see if Hunter can go ahead and put this into the end zone here.
I don't know that he'll put it to the end zone, but he can get it to the 10. He can get it over their heads. I was watching him in practice yesterday, and it was cold, and he was putting a foot to it. So
here we go. We got a Gatorade label from a bottle flying up in the air, causing a little bit of confetti. Let's see if Pace can put it up into. Here we go. It's a little squib kick up and over, and the ball is going to go ahead. The ball is going to be flopping out onto the ground around the 47. Your Rich Rebel, Rich has the ball. They recover at the 47-yard line. That ball took a perfect bounce.
Johnson
perfect bounce right over the Monticello receiver.
That's the second onside kick Casey Johnson's received this year.
That's impressive. And, if you can't kick it down the field, why not try that? Your Rich Rebels on offense. Up 21-0 currently in the first quarter. Casey Johnson with the recovery. Onside kick recovery. Pace in I formation under center. Two wide receivers out to his left. He's going to keep it himself and roll out to his left and pitch out to Max Perry. Perry is going to break one tackle at the 35 and then get forced out of bounds right at the 35. It's a 15-yard pickup. No, even more. 17-yard pickup for Perry. What does Perry do in terms of his ability with speed? What does that do for the offense for Rich?
That adds a big dimension to our team. If we can get him to the outside just like Carrillo, we do have some speed that people don't realize we do. Trey Walker's real fast. We just got to get around the end, and we're kind of doing that today.
It seems as though that your Rich Rebels have been able to break quite a few tackles, and it's allowed them to pick up quite a few yards. Here's Pace under center. He's going to drop back to pass. 5-step drop out to his left, down the middle. He's trying to find Trey Walker, overthrows him, incomplete at the 5. Had him open, Colin.
Yes, he did. He just got a little excited and overthrew that one.
That very much could be a play that we see again later on in the game, as we'll probably go back to that one. Walker's going to get out to the sideline, get himself a blow, and now it is 2nd down and 10 from the 35-yard line. Ball located at the left hash.
Well, he has Noah Perry this side that has the little breakaway speed, too, if we can find him, too.
Here we go. Dive up the middle to Conk. Conk will lower his shoulder and break a tackle. Here goes Conk, cutting off to the left. He's going to find the left corner end zone, and it is going to be a touchdown for your Rich Rebels.
It's going to be called back, though. We got a hold on Eli Brooks.
You're right. We have quite a few flags out onto the field. We have a marker right at the 37 near the line of scrimmage and another marker at the 10-yard line. Huge bummer, as Conk was pretty stoked about that one, but, got to be careful of these holding penalties.
That's a tough one. Eli was just blocking hard. The guy went down. He ended up on top of him.
Here we go. We're going to get a block in the back on the Rich Rebels and a face mask on Monticello. And that's going to go ahead and offset the penalties. So I think we're going to get another second down, and we're just going to pretend like it didn't happen.
Replay the down.
Second down and 10 as a block in the back and a face mask are going to offset each other. Here as we tick down to the last 30 seconds or so in the first quarter, brought to you by the Crawford Trough.
And that was a good run by
that was a great
Riker,
run.
too.
Here we go, in motion. Carrillo's going to get the pitch out to the right. He's going to try and get the corner, and he's going to get forced to the sideline and get brought down out of bounds. Great pursuit, more specifically by the defensive end. That's Thomas Fulmer. Speedy. You got to keep up with Riley Carrillo there.
Loss of about 3.
So after a loss of 3, third down and 13 coming up. Rich faced with another third and long. They're behind the initial first stick as they need to get 13 now, and they're going to go ahead and go under center. 2 wide receivers out to the left and 1 to the right. We're in I formation. They're going to go ahead and hand off. No, Pace will keep it himself, but the ball will come out. The ball has come out right at the 35-yard line. We'll see. And they're going to motion the ball going to Monticello. Monticello will pick up the fumble by Pace. And here comes 1st and 10 now at the 36-yard line.
That was another misread by Hunter. He should have gave that to Riker. Instead, he turns Riker into a blocker and follows him, and they just knocked the ball out of his hands.
There you go. The ball gets knocked out of Pace's hands. It's cold, and it takes a little bit more mental, focus when holding on to a ball that's quite cold, and when you get smacked around. Here comes Monticello. They're in a spread formation. McDonald will get the snap and look to pass. The ball is batted up in the air. It should be an incomplete pass, and finally the referees come in. I thought our Monticello player here, Javelin Robinson, was going to get blown up because he jumped on it like it was a fumble. But luckily the referees came to his aid because there was some rebels coming after him.
Oh, yeah, there was. After that fumble by Hunter, what I tell him and my other kids is you got to have sports amnesia, forget about it, and come back and get it the next play. So let's see how the Rebels respond to this.
McDonald will get the snap and handoff right up the middle. Here comes Javelin. Javelin will go ahead and pick up a good chunk of yards right up the middle, about 5 or 6. Here we go. That's the end of the first quarter. Let's go ahead and take a quick break here, as this has been a Bear Lake Community Health Center presentation of Rich Rebel football. They're up 21-0 after the first quarter on 98.3 as well as on mylocalradio.com.
Success doesn't come by accident. Success requires hard work, perseverance, learning, sacrifice, and believing in yourself. Eddie and Todd Jensen established the Mound Valley Cattle Company in Thatcher, Idaho on these very principles. The students, staff, athletes, and coaches at Rich High School value these same fundamentals in education and activities, in athletics, and in life. Good luck, Rebels, from Mound Valley Cattle Company, serving customers in Utah, Idaho, and Wyoming since 1997.
America keeps moving, and Auto Farm Chevrolet is here to help you keep rolling. Whether you need a brand new vehicle or service on one you already own, Auto Farm Chevrolet is here to lend a helping hand. Our certified mechanics are knowledgeable, and our sales team takes the time to get to know you and what your needs are. Stop in today. Auto Farm Chevrolet, 624 Front Street, Evanston. Evanston's community-driven dealer.
Here we go, Rich Rebel fans. We're going to start the second quarter. The second quarter brought to you by T7 Propane in Woodruff. For all your propane needs, call 435-793-4208. McDonald, the sophomore, third down and 4 coming up. He's going to get the snap in shotgun. He's going to get pressure up the middle, throw it way down the field, and it's going to be almost intercepted by Trey Walker at the 33-yard line. Trey had a great beat on that, and it just kind of fell through his hands there.
We got a flag on the play, too.
Here we go. We also have Laundry out onto the field. Let's get a call from our head referee.
I know James McKinnon was zeroing in on the quarterback.
It's going to be a personal foul on the defense.
He didn't say what the personal
foul was. Didn't really say what it was, but if I were a guessing man, I think he might have got to the quarterback just a little bit late.
That's
maybe.
what I think. I seen James, he was zeroing in on him, and I turned my head to watch the pass. So
There we go. And the ball will get moved forward. That will be a first down for Monticello. They're now located at the 42-yard line of the Rich Rebels. As there's a slight breeze coming from the north, they're working their way into the wind. 42 yards now separate the Buckaroos from getting some points out onto the board. Your Rich Rebels up 21-0 currently here in the second quarter.
I don't know, the way our season's going, if we can be aggressive like that and get that penalty, I think I'll take it, to be honest with you.
I think it shows a little bit of life in the defense, and you know what? Just try and time it correctly. It's the good thing. Here comes trips out to the left. McDonald will follow the dive and then get wrapped up. Buckwheat is going to cause a fumble. Here comes Javelin. He'll pick up the ball after the fumble, and out to the first down marker they go. They tackled McDonald for a sack. The ball came out. Javelin from Monticello, Javelin Robinson, with the heads-up play, scoops it up, and they're going to get first down yardage.
And that was Wyatt Shoup that ended up running him down from behind again. He's come up pretty big today for us.
Yes, he has. It's good to see that kind of stuff happening, and it looks like the chain gang moved a little bit too quickly. So I guess it's second down and 1 coming up for the Monticello Buckaroos. They're located on the right hash, right at the 32.5-yard line. They're right sandwiched in between the 32 and 33
North
yard
Summit
line.
got 9 yards last week.
Maybe
they're not going to give it to him this week.
Maybe.
So.
Here comes McDonald in the shotgun, rolling out to his left, trying
Noah
to scramble
Perry.
for his life. Noah Perry trying to track him down. He'll get it. The ball will almost be intercepted. Buckwheat helps up McDonald as he's knocked down from behind from Noah Perry. Speedy man. I haven't seen him run that fast this year.
Yeah, that was Max Perry that knocked it down, but Noah Perry had the pressure for sure from that outside cornered blitz.
Goodness, McDonald had to run for his life out to his left, and now third down and 1 facing Monticello. They just need 1 yard. They need to get down to the 31-yard line. McDonald, hard count, tries to get Rich to jump offside. This time it's not going to work. He's going to go under center. No. Talks to his offensive line. Here comes a new play call. Trips out to the right on the right hash. McDonald will get it and throw out to his right. He's going to have space. Here comes Monticello, and they're going to get past the first down marker. Who is that? That's Tate Ramsey, the senior. Gets the little pop pass on the wide receiver position out near the Monticello sideline, and that's a first down to the 29. McDonald in shotgun. He's going to go ahead, survey, get the snap, look out to his left. Here comes a slant. Javelin Robinson catches it right at the 25 and cuts up the field down to the 15. That's a 15-yard completion, and that's mostly on the legs of Robinson there.
Max Perry gambled there and didn't come up with it. I think at times you just got to sit back and break up that pass instead of go for it.
Here we go. Rich will take its timeout now. First one here of the second quarter. We'll go ahead and take a quick breather here on a Bear Lake Community Health Center presentation of Rich Rebel football on 98.3 as well as on mylocalradio.com.
Whether it's for your home, your ranch, your equipment, or your business, when you need propane, count on the best. T7 Propane in Woodruff. The safe and professional team at T7 Propane offers quality product and the most responsive propane service in the area, so you can enjoy the affordability, reliability, and efficiency of propane. For heating, cooking, grilling, motor fuel, and more, count on the team at T7 for your personal or business propane needs. 435-793-4208.
Rich Rebel fans, we welcome you now back into the luxury booth here in Randolph. We're getting ready as Monticello has been driving the length of the field. They're now down to the 16-yard line. 1st and 10 coming up after a good 15-yard reception by Robinson. McDonald will get the snap and step back. Gets pressure from up the right side by Carrillo. Carrillo's going to whack him and put him out onto the turf, and it will be an incomplete pass intended for the flat out to the left. That was intended for Robinson again. It will be second down now. We're getting pressure from all different facets, all different sides here. It's good to see.
It's definitely good to see, and I think we have to keep it up the rest of the game.
Here we go. It's all about what you can do through 4 quarters, not just one. Your Rich Rebels up 21-0 so far at the start of the second quarter. They're going to send a man in motion out to the left. McDonald will roll out to his left. Here comes pressure from Buckwheat. Buckwheat tries to force him out of bounds, and that he will. Buckwheat will whack McDonald real hard near the sideline, and
Wyatt Shoup come up again.
Wyatt Shoup, he's been everywhere today. It's been great to see Wyatt Shoup. Fantastic work on defense so far.
Loss of 5 on that one.
3rd down and 15 coming up. That's a loss of 5, and now they're located on the left hash at the 22-yard line. A little bit chilly up here as we're near the open window. McDonald with trips out to his right on the open side of the field. He gets the snap, rolls out to his right. He's going to go out to the flat. That's going to be an incomplete pass intended there for Logan Draper. That's going to be at the feet of Logan Draper. 4th down and 15 coming up for Monticello. Right now, the Rebels up 21-0 and now have forced Monticello into a position wherein they have to throw it or at least come up with some type of play scheme where they can get 15 yards in one go. And, you know, Colin, you talked a little bit about screens and stuff, and we haven't seen one quite yet. Maybe it could work.
Yeah. And, you know, we had North Summit quite a few times in this position last week and let them get the first down or a score, so we got to come up big here.
Here's Monticello running for their lives, and a incomplete pass near the sticks. Incomplete near the 15-yard line, trying to get near just kind of anywhere he really could. McDonald will have an incompletion, but
good defensive play there by Trey Walker too.
Trey flying across the field, getting in the way of the passing lanes, and now that is going to be a Town of Garden City turnover on downs where families play at beautiful Bear Lake. Visit gardencity.ut.us. Here comes the Rebels now at their 22-yard line. Pace is going to be under center. 10:40 left in the second quarter. Brought to you by T7 Propane. He's going to go ahead, read off of Conk, and then keep it himself. Up the middle he goes for about a 6-yard gain. That's really long. I don't know about you, but that is a long read.
He just needs to give that if that's the case. I mean, we scored on the one. We had the penalties offset, so it come back, but he just needs to give that one.
It seemed as though that Pace was riding Conk for probably about 5 yards until finally he kept it himself and fell forward. 2nd down and 4 coming up at the 29-yard line. Pace under center. He's going to go ahead and read off of Conk. The ball will be up in the air, pitched up and called incomplete by the officiating crew. I don't know if that was forward or not.
I don't know either. It's dangerous either way.
It's dangerous either way.
He needs to just take that one, I think.
Here we go.
We had a fumble last week on that same thing, so.
That's true. 3rd down and 4 coming up for the Rich Rebels. Nate Woods will come in for the wide receiver position and given the offensive play call. Located now, they moved the ball, or maybe I'm crazy. They're down now to the 27-yard line. 2 wide receivers out to the left in the I formation. Here is Pace. He's going to hand it off to Perry. Perry's going to go ahead and fall forward. Probably get about half the yardage needed. 4th down and 1. You're in your own end zone. You're in your own territory. Your offense has moved the ball. But is it a position where you're willing to roll the dice here? That's the question.
Well, looks like that's what Coach Corney is going to do, though.
There we go. Go
Watch
hard. I would give it to Carrillo right now. Okay, here comes a
that'll
quarterback
work.
Sneak. And you know what? You pick up 4, and that is a LSR refrigerated 1st down for the Rebels down to the 36-yard line.
I was just going to say you got to watch for the quarterback sneak here, and then they had 3 guys right over top of that, and they do it anyway and succeed in it.
You know what? It works. And Coach Cornea gambles a little bit, pretends we're out in Wendover, and, we get the first down in our own territory on 4th down. Drive kept alive by the Rich Rebels. I'm going to need some long underwear soon. I'm getting cold. Here we go as Pace under center, 2 running backs behind him, and wide receiver out to his left. They're going to counter out to Trey Walker. Trey has space. Down to the 50. Down the sideline he goes, and he's going to be caught. The ball will come out of bounds. Luckily, he was near the sideline, and he's going to get drug out of bounds at the Monticello 20-yard line. Great space and great play call. Those counters have been working perfectly for Rich so far. Good play call. That counter is really, really working well for the Rich Rebels, as Trey Walker was actually caught from behind.
I think we go in the locker room. Coaches have really got a hammer on holding on to that cold ice block.
That's
as we
right.
talked about.
Hold it up in your armpits as it's going to be cold. Here is Pace, first down and 10 from the 18. He's going to hand it off to Conk. Conk is going to spin off of the defensive tackle and get 9 yards on that dive play. Great hard running by Riker Conk, and something that the offense has really relied on him to do.
Gains 8 on the play. 2nd down and 2. Let's give it 9 and yards on the play.
2nd down and 2 coming up. That was an 8-yard pickup, more like.
I can see you grinning at it.
Here we go. Pace in the I formation working out great under center. Pace is going to go ahead and keep it himself, roll and go right into the defensive nose tackle. Gets slung down, but that's going to be an LSR refrigerated first down.
That's another one there that I think Hunter needs to give that one to Riker instead of he realizes just a little too late and follows him up the hole. He gets the first down, so I guess it works.
It's right now it's working, but in terms of execution, if you're trying to make this really crisp and clean, that's a read that Pace is going to have to probably work on a little bit. Here we go. The Rebels knocking on the door. They're down at the 10-yard line. Here comes a dive up the middle. Conk will break one tackle, and he will scamper into the end zone. What was initially going to be a wrap-up for the loss, he's going to just duck underneath the tackle and then cut up, and he's going to run with some authority. That's going to be a touchdown for Rich.
Our running backs are running real hard today. Conk makes the one miss and just right straight up the gut.
I can only imagine what yards after contact have been for the Rich Rebels today. It's been fantastic. 27-0. Your Rich Rebels up. Here comes the PAT attempt from Trey Walker. Measures out his steps. Here comes the toe punch from Trey. Kick is down and up. Snuck in right in past the left upright and good. That's 4 for 4 for Walker today. 28-0. Your Rich Rebels in the lead against Monticello with 7.5 minutes left in the second quarter. Let's go ahead, take a quick break here on 98.3. This has been a Bear Lake Community Health Center presentation of Rich Rebel football on mylocalradio.com.
As high school sports fans, we know that sometimes you have to drive a long way to get to the next game. If you find yourself on the side of the road, remember that Freeway Tire in Evanston offers service calls and roadside assistance 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It's a great idea to have your vehicle serviced, tires checked, and oil changed to make sure it's in top shape before your next long drive. Visit Freeway Tire today, your locally owned and operated tire shop. Freeway Tire, 217 Bear River Drive, Evanston.
Here we go, Rich Rebel fans. Your Rebels on the gridiron up 28-0 here with 7.5 minutes left in the second quarter. What's been working so far?
Our counters are working when we don't put the ball on the ground. And, the option's working. I think Hunter needs to get a little better at his reads and give it to Riker, just like on that last one. Riker will make some things happen if he gets it. And our defense has come up big, real big.
Here's a toe punch there from Pace, and that ball will roll into the end zone for a touchback. There we go. Great stuff from Pace, and the Monticello Buckaroos will pick up their offense at the 20. Here we go. I think you're 100% right. good things are happening right now. We're seeing some great stuff, but you're also seeing some things for improvement that you can definitely work on. So, one, holding on to the football. That thing is an ice block, and I can only imagine that it's pretty dang cold. Out comes the Monticello offense. McDonald has a split formation. Here's a spread formation, 2 wide receivers to either side. He's going to go ahead and hand it off right up the middle. Here comes Robinson. Robinson will get drugged down from behind by Carrillo after about a 4-yard gain. You know, that's the thing about the spread offense. If you get that dive, you have so many people in coverage or out near the sidelines covering wide receivers that you have a little bit of extra space.
Yes, you do. Our linebackers need to step up, fill that hole for sure. But we have, he's done awesome today, but we've got a little bit of inexperience at the middle linebacker there with Wyatt Shoup.
Here comes the exact same play as this time. The linebackers tuned into our radio frequency, do that exact thing, fill the space as Riker Conk stuffs Robinson right in the hole as they're going to get dropped down for about a 2-yard loss. Take my jacket, homie. Here we go as McDonald will get the ball and then throw out to the left. That's going to be incomplete, intended for Robinson.
Put a little too much on that one for the receiver to get to it.
Yeah, just out of his reach, just fingertips away. Now 4th down and 9 coming up. Here we go. It's 6.5 minutes now, and now facing a 4th and 9. Monticello in, could be an offensive spread. It could be a punt formation. Snap will go up over the top of the head of McDonald's head. It will be partially blocked and fallen on by Noah Perry at the line of scrimmage. Snap will go up over the head of McDonald, and he tries to reel that one in. It will go off of his foot, partially blocked, I think, by Carrillo. The ball will roll to the original line of scrimmage, and your Rich Rebels will pick up on offense in Monticello territory.
Looks like the Rebels will take over at about the 22-yard line.
Here they come at the just past. Yeah, it's at the 21-yard line. The Rich Rebels here in I formation. They're going to stick with this formation. Pace will be under center with Max Perry out to his right in the slot. We're going to get an offensive false start as we get 3 people moving too early.
Yeah, you had both wideouts watching Hunter, and Hunter backs away from the center.
There we go. And nobody on the offensive line moved an inch.
Yep.
So there we go, and they're going to march the Rebels back just a little bit.
Got to make it a challenge on ourselves. We can't do anything easy around here.
I guess. It's the way of life here in Randolph. Here they go in the same formation. This time, they get the snap, and he'll hand it off to Conk. Conk has a free lane right smack up the middle of the defense. That is a touchdown, and Conk has a couple today. That's 2 for Riker Conk.
Should be 3.
Should be 3. Should be 3, but nonetheless 2, and your Rich Rebels scoring again.
You know, our line's giving us a good hole for that. Hunter made a good read there like we've talked about, and Riker scores.
There you go. Execution really great as Annie Peart running up and down the sideline with the flag. And the student section's having fun. I'm excited. It's exciting here. Pending PAT. Trey Walker lines up. Snap is down, toe punched up, and snuck in past the left upright. He's 5 for 5 on the day. 35-0 for your Rich Rebels. And we'll go ahead, take a quick breather with about 6 minutes left here in the second quarter, brought to you by T7 Propane in Woodruff. For all your propane needs, call 435-793-4208. And until then, let's take a break. This has been a Bear Lake Community Health Center presentation of Rich Rebel football on 98.3 as well as on mylocalradio.com.
Whether it's for your home, your ranch, your equipment, or your business, when you need propane, count on the best. T7 Propane in Woodruff. The safe and professional team at T7 Propane offers quality product and the most responsive propane service in the area, so you can enjoy the affordability, reliability, and efficiency of propane. For heating, cooking, grilling, motor fuel, and more, count on the team at T7 for your personal or business propane needs. 435-793-4208.
After a 20-yard run by Riker Conk up the middle, your Rich Rebels up 35-0. Here comes a Town of Woodruff kickoff.
Another good kick by Hunter.
Good kick by Hunter Pace. It's going to be fielded by Robinson. They're going to fake the end around, and it's not going to fool anybody.
Didn't fool Kaysen, that's for sure.
Robinson gets dropped at the 18-yard line. Here we go, first down and 10 for Monticello at the 18-yard line. As here we go.
That's good on our special teams, just to fill the lanes like they're supposed to, not go on that fake and make the tackle.
Yep.
Kaysen Johnson did a great job there.
You're absolutely right. Kaysen Johnson doing a fantastic job as we're getting ready now. Monticello's offense out onto the gridiron. Here they come as we're having technical difficulties with our video. We'll get that back online. Until then, McDonald will roll out to his right, and Correa will bring him down. The ball will be falling into the end zone, and they're going to go ahead, mark him down at the 2-yard line. That's going to go down as a sack for Carrillo.
I think they're going to call him in the grasp there.
There we go. It was second down and a very long coming up for your Rich Rebels.
So about 26 yards to go.
And we get our video coverage back. Here comes McDonald. They're going to hand it off to Robinson. Robinson makes one man miss. He's going to roll out to his right. And the ball this time going to come out? No, they're going to call him down. Everybody's having trouble holding on to the ball today.
And that was Wyatt Shoup again.
Made the stop on the play.
Wyatt Shoup everywhere today as everyone trying to hold on to the ball. Third down and about 20 coming up.
He's got some speed.
Here we go. McDonald.
He's just a sophomore.
Try and get the defense to jump off sides. Not going to fool anybody on the defensive line. They're spread out in a 2 wide receivers to either side, really close to the sidelines. McDonald will look out to his left and roll out to his left. He's got room down to the 10. He's going to decide to keep it himself and get sandwiched by about 5 Rich players. But he picked up a good chunk of yards. That's about a 9-yard pickup on the scramble by McDonald. Good to make the most out of nothing there, Colin.
Yeah. Just a scramble, and our defense covered it real well. We had Buckwheat chasing him, and Wyatt come up and made the initial hit, and then you had Conk. I mean, good team tackling there.
Great pursuit to the ball as we're trying to stay warm up in the booth, and luckily the players get to run around a little bit. I'm just sitting here doing jumping jacks. Here comes the timeout from Coach Reed Anderson as we'll go ahead and keep it here on 98.3 KADQ. Your Rich Rebels up 35-0 with about 4 minutes left. You know, it's really, really great, and it feels different. There's a different energy right now coming from this team, and they're running around doing some amazing stuff. Just team tackling.
Yeah, they're just flying to the ball like Coach Grohl said in his interview in pregame, and they're having fun. And we were up in Star Valley for a freshman game, and the first half wasn't so good. We come out in the third quarter, and we really started hammering Star Valley. And after the game, I asked the kids, you know, football's fun, but what was more fun when you were flying to the ball and playing hard? And that's when football becomes real fun, is when you're doing what you're supposed to, flying to the ball, just hitting hard. That's when it's fun.
Do you know what? And I believe that it's probably really good to have some fun now. On the football field, your Rich Rebels having fun as they're up 35-0. Back out. Here comes McDonald. They're going to punt it on 4th down. It's a high-end kick. It's going to take a dive right at the 45, and that's where it will be picked up by Monticello. In Monticello territory, your Rich Rebel offense will have the ball with 4 minutes left before halftime. Again, we would love to go ahead and thank our sponsors as they have helped us to stay on air. This has been T7 Propane in Woodruff in our second quarter, as well as Comprehensive Family Dental, Atlas Home Care and Hospice, and Walmart. These boosters help us to stay on the air to cover the Rich Rebels in all that they do. And boy, oh boy, I'm sure that it's just super fun for everybody in Randolph to kind of be watching this right now. Your Rich Rebels up 35
and we got
to nothing.
the freshman Carter Hoffman out there under center. They're giving Hunter a little break.
Here we go as a ball right to Conk, handoff up the middle, and he'll roll on the pile on that dive. That's about a 4-yard pickup. And you know what? If you can get 4 every time, why not? Why do anything else, right?
Yes.
The dives working in this RPO offense, it really opens up a lot in the playbook for Coach Grohl and Coach Cornea.
It definitely opens up everything. We can get our running game going. It opens up a lot of things for us.
Here we go. 2nd down and 6 coming up from the 41-yard line. 3.5 minutes left, pace under center. Here they go. They're going to hand it off to Conk. Conk will fall forward again on a same type of dive play, this time to the left instead of the right, and he'll get drugged down by the neck after a 4-yard pickup. 3rd down and 8. Whoops, 3rd down and 2. Again, math, not my forte. Here they go in with the play call. 3rd down and 2 coming up for your Rich Rebels. They're located now at the 37-yard line of Monticello. Going from left to right on your radio dial, they have open side of the field to their right. Here they go, a little counter, and Carrillo will get the ball and to the left, follow his big boys down to the 29-yard line. That's a 1st down. Brought to you by LSR Refrigerated, and something that we've come to see quite accustomed to today. Rich moving the ball quite efficiently, and it's been great.
Our line's giving them holes to run through, and we're hitting them hard and running hard, so. It's good to see Carter Hoffman getting some varsity time out there.
Yep, Carter Hoffman here in at center. Here we go. Going to get the snap and hand it off up the middle. Conk will get the handoff, and he'll get brought down after a 1-yard gain. Carter Hoffman, I apologize, the freshman at quarterback. I misspoke. Hoffman in at quarterback, and he is putting in really good work and getting some needed varsity time as, it's always a good time to be able to, get some good varsity reps, especially when you're an underclassman, being able to produce and get some much-needed experience. Here they go in I formation again. 2 wide receivers out to the right. Hoffman will go ahead and hand, this time take a read, fake the dive, and then fall forward after keeping it himself down to the original line of scrimmage. This time I think Monticello is keying in that they're going running up the middle a little bit.
They're running that option, and I think they're keying more on the dive now than they are, and Carter just couldn't get around that D end there.
So 3rd down and 9 coming up for the Rebels. They're in Monticello territory at the 27. They need to get down to about the 19. They're going to stay in the same formation, in I formation. Trey Walker will dot the I in the backfield. They're going to go ahead, end around, and a counter for Max Perry. Perry's going to slip and get pushed out of bounds about 3 yards short of the 1st down marker. Good work by Perry to try and make some space. They're going to be just a little bit short, and, with it being this cold and limited kicking ability, it's definitely 4 down territory.
Yes, it is, and they might be content to let it go to halftime too.
And I don't think that the Rich offense is in any hurry whatsoever. Nope. I believe the Rich Rebels are content to let this one go into halftime, and your halftime score is going to be 35-0. Your Rich Rebels in the lead here in Randolph. This is their first lead at the half the entire season.
No, you definitely can't count them out. The mercy rule in Utah, we're up 35, so it's going to be a running clock unless they get it under 21. And I think biggest message from Coach Grohl is going to be hang on to the football.
I think you're 100% right. As our equipment on the video end of things, a little cold, and we're freezing up just a little bit. You can bear with us if you're watching us on mylocalradio.com. And now we'll get the 15-minute timer before halftime. Let's go ahead and dip into our halftime show immediately after this break, brought to you by Ellingford Brothers in Evanston. Until then, this has been a Bear Lake Community Health Center presentation of Rich Rebel football on KADQ as well as on mylocalradio.com.
Now you've got a safe and secure place to store your boat, RV, ATVs, and other vehicles right in town. T-Bar Body Shop offers storage for just $35 per month. Long and short-term storage options are available. Of course, T-Bar Body Shop also offers custom body work when you have an accident. We work with your insurance directly and get the job done right. T-Bar Body Shop offers a wide range of services. Stop in today and see all the ways T-Bar can serve you. 515 County Road, Evanston. Let T-Bar fix your car.
In the state where life is elevated, live your life in a higher gear. Cash Honda Yamaha can help you enjoy our beautiful local terrain, whether it's in the valleys, mountains, snow, or water. So get out and enjoy all nature has to offer at a higher speed. Visit Cash Honda Yamaha in Cache Valley to start living your life at your new speed. Visit us in Hyde Park, just north of Logan, Utah.
Nothing makes your kid feel like a superstar more than seeing his or her very own Fathead in the stands. Fathead car decals and yard signs are inexpensive and easy to get at Rocky Mountain Sign in Evanston. Whether it's for the big game or to cheer on the high school band, our children make us proud in so many ways. Show your pride today. Go Rebels! West Star Printing and Rocky Mountain Sign, 243 7th Street, Evanston.
They say the three most important things in life for many people are their faith, their family, and their high school sports. And not necessarily in that order. Advertise where you'll get noticed. Call My Local Radio and become a sports advertiser today.
Welcome, Rich Rebel fans, to the halftime show brought to you by Ellingford Brothers. Ellingford Brothers in Evanston for all your sand, gravel, and cement and steel needs. Ellingford Brothers serving customers for 5 generations. We're now getting into our halftime show as we're going to go ahead and give a brief recap of the first half. So far, your Rich Rebels have really been able to make it work on all sides of the ball. Defense has been stellar. Offense has been stellar. Special teams even has been stellar, as special teams has gotten an onside kick as well as a punt return by Trey Walker. And we ask for your patience as we're trying to get the video portion of our stream working, as it is kind of cold, and I think it's just causing a little bit of an issue. Our first half highlights and recap here. Getting ready to talk to you a little bit about how this game has gone. Riker Conk with 2 touchdowns so far, as well as great work from multiple players on the Rich High varsity squad, and even Carter Hoffman, the freshman, getting in some time at quarterback. Brief recap, your Rich Rebels doing a fantastic job getting some execution in there and doing everything that they can to get out in front. Your Rich Rebels up for the first time this year at halftime, and they're up by a little bit of a comfortable lead. Do not count out the Monticello Buckaroos whatsoever. A whole half is still left to play if you're just joining us. It's been really fun as the Rich Rebels been able to find great offensive production. The offense has been moving with proficiency. Offensive line making holes. Riker Conk hitting the holes great. Max Perry being able to use his speed up and around. Hunter Pace getting the right reads and leading his offense to score. Defense not giving up any ground whatsoever, as they've been able to rack up a few sacks and doing a lot for this team so far. we welcome you here into the booth. The Cody Olson joining us, as well as Colin Pace. As Colin, back into the studio we are, and here we go. We got stats somewhere on this phone. We're gonna go ahead, and I was too slow, and it dropped out on me. But the offense doing fantastic work. A little bit of a brief recap. It's just been real domination by the Rich Rebels so far.
It really has. The total offense is 232 yards for Rich and 87 for Monticello. Hunter's 0 for 3 on passing, so 0 yards passing, where they have 16 yards passing. But rushing is the big difference. Monticello has 71, and we have 232 yards on 21 attempts.
There you go. Well, there you go. 200 plus yards rushing in the first half. That's a recipe for success, as you just feel a little bit of a different atmosphere. Just really a lot of energy, and it's good. It's good and refreshing here on the Rich sideline.
Well, winning tends to do that to teams.
It's the cure-all to everything, isn't it?
It is. So when you come out and execute like they have today, and they really have, defenses come up big. You come out and execute like that, it just makes it more fun to play the game, and you're just excited to be here.
There we go. 9 minutes until the beginning of the third quarter. Let's go ahead and dip into our Western Ag Credit Union interview with outstanding student immediately after this quick break. You're listening to a Bear Lake Community Health Center presentation of Rich Rebel football on 98.3 The Wildlife, with video coverage online at mylocalradio.com.
At Ellingford Brothers, we're known for an excellent steel shop and quality cement. We also provide other products all year round. Sand and different sizes of gravel for road base and landscaping in the summer and fall. Traction in the winter and mud control in the spring. Bark for landscaping in the summer and winterization in the fall. And topsoil. Spring, summer, and fall. Prices are always honest. Pickup or delivery. Ellingford Brothers, your year-round source for so many things. Stop in today at 221 County Road in Evanston.
When it comes to farming and ranching, it makes good sense to work with a lender who understands finance and agriculture. Western Ag Credit is an independent cooperative owned by the farmers and ranchers who borrow from it. With competitive rates, your loan is tailored to match your business needs. Real estate, livestock, equipment, and operating expenses. When it comes to farming and ranching financing, Western Ag Credit in Evanston is your partner in agriculture.
Welcome, Rich Rebel fans, and without further ado, let's go ahead and dip into our outstanding student interview brought to you on our Ellingford Brothers halftime show as part of our Western Ag Credit Union sponsored segment, your partner in agriculture, a lender who understands finance and agriculture, 848 Front Street in Evanston. Here's our outstanding student. Take it away.
Rich Rebel fans, I am here with outstanding student of the week, Josh England. Josh, how the heck are you this week?
I'm doing really good. It's been a good week so far. Gotten a lot of stuff done, and I'm feeling great.
We can't ask for much better than that at all. You're in seminary learning about all the good things, the happiness all around. Josh, I'm here with you for outstanding student. I'm pulling you out of class. What kind of classes are you really into this go around? Is it semester or is it trimester? What are you mostly into? What's your favorite classes so far?
So right now, I have a history of rock and roll class from Snow College that I'm really enjoying. It's kind of a tough class, but as long as you get the stuff done, it's kind of a really enjoyable subject for me. Especially with like being in the band and stuff, a lot of the songs that we do in the band also like applies to that history and rock and roll class. So that's probably one of my favorite subjects so far.
What inspired you to do band, Josh?
Well, to be honest, I was just going through the classes, and I'm like, oh, yeah, that'll look fun. I didn't realize I was signing up for the pep band at first. I thought it was just like a band class, learn how to play the guitar and that kind of stuff. Right. Show up first day of class, surprise, you're in the pep band. And so I went with it, and yeah, I've loved it. It's been so much fun.
What's been your favorite thing about being part of band? Is it a different atmosphere than any of the other classes they got going on at Rich?
Yeah, so one of the things I really love about the band is there's always like a sense, like there's always something that I don't get from other classes, like more of like a closeness, if that makes sense. We're always joking around with each other, and messing around. It's been pretty fun.
I hear that you play a very mean bass, Josh. Tell me a little bit more about what, I guess, inspired you to choose the bass.
Well, I saw it sitting there in the corner. I thought it looked pretty cool. Turns out that bass didn't actually work, so there was no choice. There wasn't really a point in choosing that one. So I picked up the other bass, didn't look as cool. So I started playing with it. I got in a good rhythm with it, and I just kind of went from there.
Josh, it's really fun to be out here at Rich High School. It's a different atmosphere. What's it like just being in kind of a small town with such a big influence from the high school?
You know, there's a lot of opinions on like small schools and stuff. A lot of people don't enjoy like the small school atmosphere. I really do. I mean, obviously it's like this is what I've grown up with. But this is, I really love it. There's always a sense of like closeness and community. You always know everybody. You can always say hi to everybody.
That's all right. That's all right. You know, it's something different, something that you can feel, right? Josh, what are you expecting? What do you want to go into post-graduation?
I've been really enjoying like computer science and stuff. That's what I love doing. I love working with computers. I have a computer at home. I built I love tinkering with that kind of stuff, both like the actual hands-on and like coding and stuff I'm not great at, but I still like doing it.
Do you have a company that you want to specifically work for, or are you open to recruiting?
I am open for recruitment.
Awesome. Well, Josh, I have no doubt that you're going to find that right place for you. So glad that I can pull you aside. I'm not going to hold you any longer because it is now time to go home. Josh, thanks so much again. Anything you want to touch up on before we end?
I don't think so. Just thanks for having me. It's been awesome.
Outstanding student, Josh Englund, and then we'll go ahead and step aside on 98.3 The Wildlife.
Before we step aside, special thanks to Josh and everything that he does here at Rich High School. Look for him in the band, rocking the bass. I wish I could do that. I really wish I could. There is not a single musical instrument, inclination, talent whatsoever in my body. Zero. -5, actually.
I had a guitar once, tried to learn how to play, and I didn't do very good. But we talked about the musicals with Lindsay earlier. I was in quite a few growing up in school in Evanston. So
there you go. What was your favorite role?
Probably one in middle school I had. It was I can't even remember the name of the play, but I was a king. It was fun.
Oh, yeah. Living the
life.
It was a lot of fun. Living the life. Josh, also in the play, then also doing band. He's everywhere as your Rich Rebels getting ready to come out of the locker room. We'll pan to them. We'll take a quick break. Up next on the Ellingford Brothers Halftime Show, we'll recap some of the highlights from the first half. Brought to you by Rich County Government, Rebels with a champion cause. Until then, this has been a Bear Lake Community Health Center presentation of Rich Rebel football on 98.3 with video coverage online at mylocalradio.com.
In 4-H, we believe young people have the power and influence to improve the world around us. With hands-on learning and education programs, 4-H members pledge their head to clearer thinking, their heart to greater loyalty, their hands to larger service, and their health to better living. To learn more about 4-H in Rich County, stop by our office in the county building in Randolph or give us a call at 435-793-2435. 4-H, empowering young people with the skills to lead for a lifetime.
Proudly serving the people of Randolph and Hiram, Utah since 1997. Dr. Sean Grohl with Comprehensive Family Dental offers dentistry for patients of all ages. Great care, positive environment, and fair prices. Call for an appointment today.
The second half moments away as we join you again here on 98.3 The Wildlife. Welcome back to the end of the Ellingford Brothers Halftime Show. Time to cap up some highlights from the first half. Colin, what was probably the most standout highlight that you enjoyed?
Well, I think I'm probably a little biased, but second play of the game, Hunter with a 60-yard touchdown run. And then we had, Riley Creo with that 89-yard run. That was just awesome. And then our defense, to me, has just come up huge.
Lights out. And, I think you can't start with a better, starting off the game better. It's a 1-2 punch by Pace and Carrillo, and off we go. And they have not looked back whatsoever. 35-0 is currently the score as we begin the third quarter. And Monticello is going to get the ball as Rich got the ball very first off to begin the game, as this is the end of our halftime show, and it's going to conclude here. When we bring you back, it will be time for the start of the third quarter, brought to you by Rich County Government, I believe. No, it is going to be brought to you by the Town of Woodruff, Mayor Scott Sabey, council members Raymond Franson, Kent Stewart, Millie Bradshaw, and Seiko Webb, as well as Clerk Lisa Bell, sharing Rich Rebel pride as we get to the end of the halftime show. Let's go ahead, dip into that really quickly, as this has been a Bear Lake Community Health Center presentation of Rich Rebel football on mylocalradio.com as well as on the Wildlife.
This presentation on mylocalradio.com is also brought to you in part by Hoover Chiropractic. With over 3 decades of experience, Dr. Todd Hoover can help you with all the chiropractic work you need, plus x-rays, blood work, a weight loss program, and can help you get rid of allergies and migraines. Dr. Todd Hoover with Hoover Chiropractic in Evanston.
As high school sports fans, we know that sometimes you have to drive a long way to get to the next game. If you find yourself on the side of the road, remember that Freeway Tire in Evanston offers service calls and roadside assistance 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It's a great idea to have your vehicle serviced, tires checked, and oil changed to make sure it's in top shape before your next long drive. Visit Freeway Tire today, your locally owned and operated tire shop. Freeway Tire, 217 Bear River Drive, Evanston.
Evanston Regional Hospital is an affiliate of the University of Utah Health. Our partnership builds on a long tradition of collaboration between Evanston Regional Hospital and University of Utah Health. Inside these doors, our dedicated staff is committed to being your caring partner in your healthcare journey. Whether you need an MRI or surgery, are expecting a new baby, or you're having a heart attack, Evanston Regional Hospital is here to help. Evanston Regional Hospital. Healing begins here.
America keeps moving, and Auto Farm Chevrolet is here to help you keep rolling. Whether you need a brand new vehicle or service on one you already own, Auto Farm Chevrolet is here to lend a helping hand. Our certified mechanics are knowledgeable, and our sales team takes the time to get to know you and what your needs are. Stop in today, Auto Farm Chevrolet, 624 Front Street, Evanston. Evanston's community-driven dealer.
Welcome back, Rich Rebel fans, as we're getting ready to start off the third quarter. The teams have yet to break their huddles, but until then, we'll go ahead and touch up a little bit on the first half and just kind of the great turnaround that Rich has kind of had here against Monticello. Some great runs by Hunter Pace as well as Riley Carrillo. Riker Conk has 2 touchdowns on his own. And we're getting some great offensive production as the teams run out onto the field. What kind of goal do you set for yourself if you are Rich? You're sitting on a 35-0 lead, but obviously the game's not over. What kind of things do you expect here in the second half?
Well, the goal I would set for us is to finish this game. We have yet to put together 4 good quarters on the season, and we really have to do that today to prove that we can, prove to ourselves more than anybody. And we just need to hang on to the ball and everything like that. So we just need to go out, play hard. It's going to be a running clock, so just keep it clean and play hard.
There we go, as we currently have 12 minutes, and here is the kickoff brought to you by the Town of Woodruff. It's going to be fielded there by Robinson, or Robinson's going to go ahead and keep it and go down the sideline. Here you go. He has lanes, and he's going to cut across the face. Riley Carrillo is eventually going to tackle him at Rich's own 41-yard line. That's a great return there by a Monticello kick returner, Logan Draper.
Well, unlike the other one in the first half, we forgot to keep our lanes and let him go for a long return there.
Yep, there he goes. And they capitalized. Monticello coming out with their offense as we're getting ready now. Our scoreboard camera has frozen. You'll just have to listen to my voice. McDonald gets the snap, and out to the left, he gets it out to Draper. Draper has a lane down the sideline. He's going to pick up about 11 yards on that little pop pass there from McDonald.
I'm going to give him the first down on that. One other stat I want to touch on is it's been a relatively clean game. We've only had 2 penalties for a total of 10 yards. Other than those 2 that offset that called back Conk's touchdown.
There you go. Back again. That's immediately back to Draper on the left side. This time it's going to go incomplete, a little bit behind him. Tries to catch it with one hand. It's going to bounce off of his palms, incomplete, as now it's going to be 11 minutes left in the third quarter. Brought to you by the town of Woodruff. Yes, our scoreboard cam has frozen. And here's McDonald up the middle. He's going to hand off there to Robinson. Robinson will break 2 or 3 tackles, fall forward for about a gain of 5. That's the draw play that we've talked about earlier.
Lucas Stonehouse.
Stonehouse in to stop on defense. Here we go. 3rd down and 5 coming up for Monticello. Trey Walker in kind of a free safety looking all around the field, and they're finally going to call a timeout. Rich will take a timeout. Let's go ahead and take a timeout here as our first timeout from Rich in the second quarter. This has been a Bear Lake Community Health Center presentation of Rich Rebel football on 98.3 with video coverage online at mylocalradio.com.
Randolph, Utah is a town of extremes. At an elevation of almost 6,300 feet and with temperatures over 90 in the summer and often 40 below in the winter, the folks who call Randolph home have to be a hardy crew. Maybe that's one reason the simple things in life mean so much to Rich County. Residents value hard work, education, respect, a love for God, family, and country, and being a good neighbor. Mayor Lynn Weston and the town board proudly support the Rich Rebels and hope you'll be able to visit soon and come back often.
Here comes McDonald. He's going to scramble out to his right, and he's not going to go anywhere as Riley Carrillo is in for the sack.
And Lucas Stonehouse.
Lucas Stonehouse in as well. Running clock as the Rich Rebels are up 35-0. 4th down and 10 coming up as we have our scoreboard cam back. It's a little bit off center, but that's all right. Here comes McDonald scrambling out to his right, and he's trying to reverse field, and then he'll just throw it out of bounds. He has a receiver out there, so no intentional grounding call should be called.
They better not get a roughing the passer there. Hunter's been hit a little harder than that, and he's the one doing the hitting.
There we go. There's a flag out onto the field. Our white hat has put it right down where the quarterback went down. Here we go. Monticello's walking backwards like it's against them. Intentional grounding. I saw a Monticello wide receiver pretty close. Tate Ramsey was probably within 4 yards of it. I don't know. Do you feel like he was close enough?
I didn't see a receiver out there, but I think that's already 4th down. Game management. You're 35-0. Let them get the incomplete and turn over on downs.
Right. I think it just saves the Monticello defense probably about 11, 12 yards or something like that. Instead, Rich will pick up in Monticello territory. Hunter paces back at quarterback. Then the I formation, 2 wide receivers out to the right. He's going to go ahead. The ball will be on the ground, and it's just too late. That is a very tricky read, and it might be the bane of somebody in the booth's existence. There we go. As a fumbled exchange, it will be Riker Conk will fall onto it, and now it'll be 2nd down and 10 after the exchange attempt from Pace to Conk. It just seems really long for me.
He's got to make that a lot quicker. He's got to make that a lot quicker, and it's a give. It's a give read. He needs to give it to Riker and let Riker do his thing.
Here we go, 2nd down and 10 coming up. Pace in the same formation, I formation, and Carrillo's under center. They're going to hand it off to Carrillo on a straight handoff to the right, and he will churn his legs forward right to about the 1st down marker. That should be and will be an LSI refrigerated first down Rebels. Third quarter today brought to you by the town of Randolph, home of the Rich Rebels. Good luck from Mayor Lynn Weston, board members Sim Bell, Brian Wires, Larry Kennedy, Melanie Lamb, and clerk Lana Peart. Here we go as your Rich Rebels up 35-0 with 7.5 minutes. Here is Pace. He's going to hand it off to Carrillo. This tied to the left. Carrillo, again, churning his legs. He's going to have 3 people draped on top of him. He's going to pick up 9. He'll be really close, down to the 29-yard line of Monticello. Clock will continue to run. And Carrillo is above, I know for a fact, because he only got it in one go. He's above 100 yards rushing.
Yeah, he had that big 89-yard rush.
It really helps.
So just with those 2 right there, he definitely is above 100 yards rushing today. But
Pace, here we go. 2 wide receivers out to the left, and this time they'll hand it off to the left to Max Perry. Perry with his speed up the middle, and touchdown, Rich Rebels.
And that's just power football, just a lead up the middle, fullback leading, and the line's opening up a hole. The fullback takes out the linebacker, and there's not much left to stop our guys.
There we go. As Max Perry seemed to run about a 4.4 40 on that one. It was speedy fast. Up he went, right up the left side. That's going to be a 41-yard touchdown run, I believe. Here we go. Trey Walker lacing up his shoes, getting ready for the PAT attempt. Your Rich Rebels up 41-0.
I had that down as a 29-yard.
Maybe I'm just trying to give him more yards. 29-yard. Yeah, you're right. Here we go. PAT attempt should have been blocked.
No good.
I thought he wow, I looked like he was out to left. But instead it will be motioned, and it will be called good. 42-0. 42-0. Your Rich Rebels up on top. Let's go ahead. Take a quick second on the wildlife. We have an injured buckaroo making his way off. Let's go ahead, take a break here on 98.3. This has been a Bear Lake Community Health Center presentation on mylocalradio.com.
They say the 3 most important things in life for many people are their faith, their family, and their high school sports. And not necessarily in that order. Advertise where you'll get noticed. Call My Local Radio and become a sports advertiser today.
Nothing makes your kid feel like a superstar more than seeing his or her very own Fathead in the stands. Fathead car decals and yard signs are inexpensive and easy to get at Rocky Mountain Sign in Evanston. Whether it's for the big game or to cheer on the high school band, our children make us proud in so many ways. Show your pride today. Go Rebels! West Star Printing and Rocky Mountain Sign, 243 7th Street, Evanston.
Here we go, Rich Rebel fans. We welcome you back to the third quarter, brought to you by the town of Randolph. Your Rich Rebels will capitalize and score on a 29-yard touchdown run by Max Perry. Maybe he just wants me to be his statistician, and I'll just give him extra yards. Here comes kickoff from Pace down the middle, right in between the hashes. It will be scooped up at about the 10-yard line. We're going to try and run that fake reverse, trying to get people out of their lanes, but instead, here comes Robinson.
Nice block.
Good block, and he'll get brought down now at about the 31-yard line, working his way up the right sideline near the home bench.
That right there was a heck of a play by Gifford. He got knocked to the ground and still made the tackle.
There you go. Third quarter, and we get a running clock, 6.5 minutes now, as Monticello takes over at the 33-yard line, first down and 10, working their way from left to right on your radio dial. Spread out, trips out to the left on the open side of the field. McDonald will get the snap, roll out to his left, looking for somebody, anybody open. Everyone covered. He's trying to roll out, and he'll get to the line of scrimmage and a few more, actually quite a bit more, he'll go ahead and get about 9 yards. McDonald almost flew into the stands as we have a Rich Rebel down at around the 28-yard line. That's McKinnon. Not sure what happened as I was following the ball, maybe a peel back block or some type of something. We're going to get a timeout. Let's go ahead and dip into a quick break as they take care of the injured Rebel out onto the field. This has been a Bear Lake Community Health Center presentation of Rich Rebel football on 98.3 as well as on mylocalradio.com.
Success doesn't come by accident. Success requires hard work, perseverance, learning, sacrifice, and believing in yourself. Eddie and Todd Jensen established the Mound Valley Cattle Company in Thatcher, Idaho on these very principles. The students, staff, athletes, and coaches at Rich High School value these same fundamentals in education and activities, in athletics, and in life. Good luck, Rebels, from Mound Valley Cattle Company, serving customers in Utah, Idaho, and Wyoming since 1997.
America keeps moving, and Auto Farm Chevrolet is here to help you keep rolling. Whether you need a brand new vehicle or service on one you already own, Auto Farm Chevrolet is here to lend a helping hand. Our certified mechanics are knowledgeable, and our sales team takes the time to get to know you and what your needs are. Stop in today, Auto Farm Chevrolet, 624 Front Street, Evanston. Evanston's community-driven dealer.
Signage is a critical part of your business. It helps customers find your front door. Rocky Mountain Sign will provide you with expertly designed signs, LEDs, channel letters, as well as skillfully cut signage using wood, metal, plastic, and other mediums to help your customers find you with high-quality signage. Using the best technology, designs, and installation by Rocky Mountain Sign. Your signage says a lot about your business. Work with the professionals at Rocky Mountain Sign, 243 7th Street in Evanston, Wyoming.
Welcome back, Rich Rebel fans, as we get back into the action. I put you on commercial break, and we missed some pretty interesting events. If we get a recap, Colin, what the heck happened right there?
Well, they were lucky on the reception because he got hit as he threw. McDonald got hit as he threw. He completed the pass for, 7 yards?
And then
there's a fumble.
Yeah.
2 Rebels miss it, and Monticello comes up with it. So it was quite the turn of events there.
There we go. Second down now and very long. McDonald trips out to his right. He's going to read off of the dive here, and Robinson will get tripped up and down right at the line of scrimmage, running out to his left. 4:20 left in the third quarter. Yeah, that last play, McDonald kind of scrambled out to his right, getting pressure from up the middle, made the completion, and then Nate Woods forced a fumble, and then 2 Rebels miss it, and then it goes out of bounds, or someone fell on top of it, and it was crazy. Here comes third down and very long. McDonald rolling out to his left. He's going to put his feet underneath him and try and throw out there to his intended receiver. That's Michael Peterson. Peterson, it will fly up over his head, incomplete, and now fourth down and about 25 coming up. Ooh, we get a nice breeze from the window, too. Ooh.
I'm lucky. I'm over here on the other side of the booth.
Good
the
night.
glass is blocking me.
Good night. You're lucky. That's indeed true. 3 minutes and 30 seconds left before fourth quarter. Who's that back to receive?
Looks like Levi Stonehouse.
Stonehouse is going to try and field this punt as it takes a bounce right at the 50. He's going to leave it alone, and Monticello will down it at the Rich 45-yard line. That's where Rich will pick up on offense. I expect to see it seems as though we're going to have a new quarterback in here. We're going to be seeing Carter Hoffman and a different unit out here for Rich as I have the hiccups.
Yeah, it looks like the JV unit's coming out.
Here we go as Hoffman will be under center, and we'll try and get the names right here as the JV unit is out here. Seems as though Hoffman will be in at quarterback, and then
you got Wyatt Shupin at fullback, Raiden Lutz over there at your slot. I can't see who the receiver is.
Here we go, handoff to
Shoop up the middle.
And he drags a couple people up to the left, and that's going to be a 5-yard pickup for Shoop. Seems as though I have a incomplete full roster, so I'm going to lean on Mr. Pace here for some knowledge. You know, I am the biggest Rich Rebel fan out there, but sometimes I haven't memorized the entire roster quite yet. So.
Well, I've seen probably a few more of the JV games than you.
Maybe.
So
I don't know.
I might have a little stake in that too.
Hoffman will go ahead and hand off to
Shoop up
to
the middle.
right, up the middle, and this time he's not going to get anywhere. He's going to pick up maybe a yard.
So some of the other guys in there, you got Talon Pace at center. Your guards are J.J. Chandler and Carson Muirbrook. You've got Gifford out here to tackle.
Mm-hmm.
Your other tackle is, which one? Carter Stokes. And now you've got his twin brother. Colby Stokes at fullback.
There you go. Ball on the ground on the fumbled exchange. Monticello falls on top of it right at the 42-yard line. No, 47-yard line. Just a fumbled exchange from Hoffman to his fullback, and that ball will be up for grabs. Monticello back on top of it, and then now they're on offense.
47-yard line.
Here they go, the JV unit out on defense, and it is a quick one as they're not wasting any time. McDonald with trips out to the right on the open side of the field. They're at the 47-yard line. They're going to go ahead and hand it right off to Robinson. Robinson is making a couple people miss, and he'll finally get brought down around the 40-yard line.
Looks like Case and Johnson was in there.
Case and Johnson in on the stop, but not before first down yardage. They're going to stick with the same formation and trips out to the right. They're smack dab in the middle of the hashes at the 40-yard line. They'll give it to Robinson again. He has lots of room up the middle. Cuts to the left, cuts to the right, and stretches forward for extra yardage. He's going to pick up 8 right smack dab up the middle, and he made probably about 3 or 4 cuts before finally he's getting touched.
Case and Johnson and Braden Gifford in on that stop.
Johnson and Gifford teaming up to bring him down, and McDonald will stay in that trips formation. This time they'll fake the dive, and it's going to be incomplete. That's just going to be a drop there by his intended receiver. That's Logan Draper. And that will be the end of the third quarter, brought to you by the town of Randolph. Let's go ahead, take our quick timeout here on the air. This has been a Bear Lake Community Health Center presentation of Rich Rebel football on KADQ, as well as video streaming at mylocalradio.com. They say the 3 most important things in life for many people are their faith, their family, and their high school sports. And not necessarily in that order. Advertise where you will get noticed. Call My Local Radio and become a sports advertiser today.
Nothing makes your kid feel like a superstar more than seeing his or her very own Fathead in the stands. Fathead car decals and yard signs are inexpensive and easy to get at Rocky Mountain Sign in Evanston. Whether it's for the big game or to cheer on the high school band, our children make us proud in so many ways. Show your pride today. Go Rebels! West Star Printing and Rocky Mountain Sign, 243 7th Street, Evanston.
Wyoming is unique. When it comes to high school sports, we might travel 6 hours to a game, but when we get there, we know the other team, their parents, and the coaches. Wyoming is like one small town with really long streets. When your travels take you to Evanston, always stay with your friends at the Best Western Dunmar Inn. Clean, comfortable rooms, a restaurant serving healthy, delicious food, and breakfast is always included. If you're bringing the team or following the team, stay with us every time you're in Evanston. The Best Western Dunmar Inn.
Well, we welcome you back now to the fourth quarter, brought to you by Bear Lake Realty. And every time we go to break, and I let it go just a little bit longer than it should, we almost missed a pick six.
Nathan Woods made a good break on that play, just couldn't quite get to the ball, but yeah, that was close.
Hit him right in the hands, and if he was able to catch that one, there was nothing stopping him from going about 65 yards to the house. McDonald with bunch trips out to the open side of the field. He'll roll to that side. Look and look. He has a man open on the sideline. Finally, he'll throw it just over his intended receiver, incomplete at the 30-yard line. That's Logan Draper. And that will be a turnover on downs. He had his man and just let it float just a little bit too high.
Yeah, that's unfortunate for Monticello there because he did, and he would have had the first down. But good for us.
There you go. Good for the Rich Rebels. And for Monticello, you have a sophomore quarterback, and you're decimated by injuries right now. I don't think that there's need to fret super crazy about this kind of stuff. You're going to be able to have some kids coming back really soon, and you have a sophomore quarterback who's proven that he can throw the ball. If he's able to reel that one in, doing very well.
Yeah, the bad thing is they're talking like we are. They're talking about moving to the Colorado 8-man football league instead of staying Utah 2A or 1A like we are.
Well, there you go. It's a decision that these schools have to make as Shoop, takes it for about 5 yards as a handoff up to the left. Hoffman gives it to him.
From the 38.
Now we're under 10 minutes left in the fourth quarter. We'll fix that as our graphic into the fourth quarter, brought to you by Bear Lake Realty, Amber and Gary McKee, the most experienced and highest volume realtor in Bear Lake. Visit bearlakerealty.com. Hoffman under center. He's going to do an end around there. Here comes the Rebels. Great cut up.
Raiden Lutz.
Gets the counter play, and he'll get first down yardage. The sophomore, 5'5", plays running back and linebacker. And, boy, he is really low to the turf.
He is really low to the turf, and for a little guy, he puts out a lot of effort, and he'll actually hit somebody pretty hard.
Good. That's the Rich Rebel way right there, hitting someone in the mouth, and no matter your size. As first down, LSR refrigerated first down for Raiden Lutz. Here in I formation, 2 wide receivers out to the right. They're going to go ahead. Shoop is going to bounce off of someone and roll to the right, but he's going to lose about 5 yards. Tried to get around the corner, and defense beat him to it.
Just a little broken play there. Kind of lost our blocking up front.
8.5 minutes now before the end of the game. Your Rich Rebels about 8.5 minutes before their first win of the season. And a region win right on the cusp, as that will affect seeding and RPI for the state tournament. And we'll see as Hoffman drops back to pass and drops and steps up into the pocket, and he'll get rolled in his legs there. Down he goes. That's a great sack by Monticello, Carson Wells, the senior. So you look forward just a little bit now, and you're probably going to be playing the 5th seed in the in 1A. Goodness, in 1A. I'm not sure who the 5th seed currently is.
I thought it was going to be the 7th, because the top 4 get byes, correct?
I thought it was the top 3. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm going off of last year, so you know what? You're probably right. While we're looking that up, here's Hoffman under center. He's going to go ahead, drop back to pass, and he's not going to have any time. He's going to get wrapped up and dropped for a huge sack. That's 4th down now and 20 coming up.
So we will, if we end up 11th, which is where we were before today, we'll play the 6th seed.
Okay.
And if we end up in 10th, we'll end up playing the 7th seed.
Okay.
Who it is, I don't know, because they've taken down the RPI.
Yeah, that's funny. Unless everyone's probably glued to the RPI. I don't know who that would be. We'll keep you up to date. But your Rich Rebels will probably, I can probably safely say, will be above Monticello with this region win. Monticello will go 0-4 in region, and your Rich Rebels will have 1 at least.
Noah Perry for the punt. Good punt by Noah.
Good punt by Noah, and it will take a bounce, and a good Rebel bounce all the way down to about the 22-yard line.
Levi Stonehouse trying to give it the win to push it a little further.
There you go. Anything to get that one. It's a game of inches. It's a game of inches, the game of football, and then Monticello will take over. About 6 minutes left now.
Get a few more plugs in for a couple of the kids. You got Jeremy Garcia, a sophomore, playing D-line. Senior Bricker Butler's out here playing corner.
There we go.
You got Levi and Lucas Stonehouse out there. And Tony Maldonado's getting a little time.
Good. Here comes McDonald handing off there to Robinson. He'll take a 1 cut to the right and get a good block, and he'll get first down yardage all the way down to the 35.
Making some guys miss.
We have a stoppage of time.
I didn't see who come up with the tackle there.
Neither did I.
Looks like we got a first down. Oh, we have a flag on the play.
Here we go. Our white hat will give us the official call. Personal foul. What's this?
Personal foul, helmet to helmet, looks like.
And they're going to call that on Monticello. Yeah, you don't see very many helmet-to-helmet calls on the offense. At least I haven't. The wind has died down. We're at a very slow, cold breeze coming from the west, and it's seeping into the booth here. And now 5 minutes and 15 seconds left separate your Rich Rebels from their first win of the season. McDonald in at quarterback, shotgun, running back behind him. He's going to go ahead and fake out to his left. He has time. He's going to wing it down the field, down the middle. He has a man open. Good coverage there. Oh.
No way. I can't say I agree with that one. That looked like great defense by Case and Johnson to me.
It was a bang-bang call, but we're going to get a pass interference call on Johnson.
I think we could have had a offsetting penalties there too, because Jordan Johnson got tackled in the backfield by the offensive lineman. So,
well,
but that's the way it goes.
That's the way that it is sometimes. Is we're getting a defensive pass interference call on the Rebel defense, and I believe, Case and Johnson went back to the referee and he says, "All right, let me know what was wrong there." Here is McDonald with trips out to the right. They're just going to hand it off. No, to Robinson. He'll go ahead and find his man, Draper. Draper down the middle. He's going to catch the slant, and up he goes down to the 20, to 10-5 touchdown. Monticello will score here in the fourth quarter. Great read by McDonald to find Logan Draper on that slant pass right up the middle.
Real good speed from Draper, too, there. As soon as he caught the ball, it's like he had another gear and just turned away from everybody.
There he goes. He caught it right at about the 45-yard line and then zoom up the middle, right down the hash as he goes, 6-42. McDonald will be out to attempt the PAT. Seems as though they're missing somebody maybe. No? Here they go. They're lining up. Oh, yep, they are. Here they go. Missing someone on the PAT unit. The kick is skipping off the turf down, and that ball will be blocked. No good, as not being able to be reeled in by Monticello. And, they still got it up off the foot.
Lucas Stonehouse showed us how to use a helmet there.
There you go.
Because he didn't get his hands up. It hit him straight in the face mask.
There you go. Here we go. And now 4 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Monticello able to connect on about a 55-yard slant pass from McDonald to Logan Draper. He'll take it to the house, puts it into another gear, and now we're going to go ahead and see your Rich Rebel offense maybe on their last offensive possession.
So I think today, the JV come out real good and ended up winning 34-0 or something like that. And I think it sparked our varsity a little bit because our boys were out here on the sideline cheering on the JV.
There
and
you go.
They come out with some excitement today and you can see the result. They come out excited and ready to play.
And you can see, as you said, you can see it in the result. And, 42-6 with 4 minutes left in the fourth. And not much you could do on that slant pass from McDonald to Logan Draper. Here's the kickoff now to the Rich Rebels, and it's going to take a dive. And they thought it was going to go into the end zone. Noah Perry will scoop it up at the 3. He'll reverse field out to the right, cut up to his left, and finally get brought down at about the 15-yard line. They were going to let it go into the end zone, but that took a dive right at the 3. He ain't going to go nowhere.
It was a good kick.
Maybe you need Stonehouse waving to try and get some wind on that thing. First down and 10 from the 15-yard line.
First down from the 15.
Well, if you're here at the game, you're experiencing the cold firsthand. We see lots of people bundled up real tight, and it seeps into the booth. After this, go ahead, get some hot cocoa, snuggle with your loved ones, and celebrate this Rich win because we're about 3 minutes and 45 seconds away from it. The Rich Rebels are probably just going to take a delay of game call. Nope. They'll take a timeout. As someone didn't run in with the play, they were missing something. We'll keep it here. I think it's safe to say that this game is all but wrapped up, and the Rich Rebels are going to come out with a win. They'll be atop. They'll not be at the bottom of the region standings with this win above Monticello. Monticello came out, drove far to come out here. We're so glad that they were able to come out and play Your Rich Rebels out on the gridiron will take this W. What does this do? What does it do mentality-wise, getting this win right before the state tournament, getting your first one?
It definitely gives our kids momentum and confidence for sure. Just looking at Max Preps here, the state high school associations pulled down the RPI, but it's looking like we'll either have Parowan or North Severe if they go off Max Preps.
Interesting, and that is depending on what the games are this week as well. So
exactly.
We might be in for a little bit of a drive down south, maybe, because the higher seed will be at home, I assume.
So Layton Christian lost yesterday.
Did they really? Who did they lose to?
They played Uena and lost.
Okay.
And Duchesne and North Summit play tomorrow. For the North region, the South region, Kanab is at Parowan tonight. Gunnison is at North Severe tonight, and Enterprise is at Milford.
Interesting.
I think they're all scheduled for 7 o'clock starts.
Well, we'll keep an eye on that as your Rich Rebel played a little bit earlier today. Hoffman will go ahead and give the dive up the middle, and it won't go anywhere. 3rd down and 11 coming up. 2.5 minutes now. We'll get ready for the end of the game in just a moment. This fourth quarter brought to you by Bear Lake Realty. Stay with us for our post-game show brought to you by Epic Recreation coming up. We'll dive into a little bit of the diagnostics, some stats of the game, where you might see your Rich Rebels for the state tournament. And we'll touch up on our precision play of the game as well as our player of the game, and we'll wrap up. 1:45, here comes an end around to Shoop. Here they go. He tries to get the corner and stretches. He'll pick up 10, but because they're behind the sticks, they're going to be dropped a little bit short. Timeout called. I believe Reed Anderson, yes, took his timeout, and 4th down and 1 coming up. Here we go as your Rich Rebel is going to be getting a W here on the gridiron in Randolph. We're going to be seeing volleyball later on. They're going to be taking on Manila, who they swept 3-0. That Manila team full of freshmen and sophomores. I'll be interviewing Coach Devin Slaw of Manila later on tonight as we touch up on that game on Saturday. That will be in Manila, and that will be the final regular season game for volleyball as well. So we'll touch up on all of that as part of our post-game show. Right now, Monticello taking a timeout with Rich facing a 4th and 1 from their own 25-yard line. Got to get to the 26. So a first down by the Rebels will ice the game. If Monticello stops them, and it's going to be a quarterback sneak, and I don't know if yes, I believe he got it. So that will ice the game. Great execution by the JV squad, and the varsity will go out there to kneel the ball. Here they go. Good performance overall by the Rich Rebels, Colin.
Yes, it was. Our defense come up huge. Our offensive line, the holes that they provided our running backs today was just amazing. Just an all-around good 4 quarters of football that we finally put together, and hopefully it shows these kids that they have the potential to do it.
And I really hope that, the next step now is, number 1, celebrate this win. Enjoy it. Have a good night tonight in Randolph. Don't be too dumb. But then you look forward and you try and carry that momentum into a state tournament game. That's all you can really do. And get ready for a little bit of a bus ride.
Yeah, and we haven't seen Parowan. We've seen Parowan. And I
seen North Severe,
we definitely can beat Parowan.
Yeah.
If we play a game like we did today.
Absolutely, yeah.
A North Severe we haven't seen. I know they were ranked high to begin with, and I don't think they've had the season that they've wanted for sure.
Yep.
But, I mean, if they're down where they're at, the teams we've played, like I said earlier, I think we can play with anybody in our division.
Mhm.
We just have to believe in ourselves and come out and do it.
Well, here it's been exemplified today as we're getting ready. We'll take a quick break, and then we'll get into the post-game show brought to you by Epic Recreation. Your final score in Randolph, your Rich Rebels with their first win of the season, 42-6 over Monticello. Let's go ahead here, as this has been a Bear Lake Community Health Center presentation of Rich Rebels football on 98.3, as well as on mylocalradio.com.
Whether you're kicking up dust in the hills, making waves down on the lake, or taking advantage of the world's greatest powder, don't just hope to have fun. Take that sled by the handlebars and make your time at Bear Lake epic. Epic Recreation rents equipment and cabins for your vacation fun at beautiful Bear Lake. From watercraft large and small to UTVs, sleds, and more, Epic Recreation has it all to go on-road, off-road, or out on the Caribbean blue water. Book your adventure at epicrecreation.net.
Evanston Regional Hospital is an affiliate of the University of Utah Health. Our partnership builds on a long tradition of collaboration between Evanston Regional Hospital and University of Utah Health. Inside these doors, our dedicated staff is committed to being your caring partner in your healthcare journey. Whether you need an MRI or surgery, are expecting a new baby, or you're having a heart attack, Evanston Regional Hospital is here to help. Evanston Regional Hospital. Healing begins here.
Welcome, Rich Rebel fans, now to the Epic Recreation post-game show. Make your next vacation an epic one with rentals at Bear Lake from Epic Recreation. Visit epicrecreation.net today. First up on our post-game show, let's talk about some post-game diagnostics, some stats. And look at that. We have the whole school out there enjoying this win, and it is exciting. Congratulations, Rich High School, on the first win for the football year. Sponsored by Stacy's Repair in Woodruff. When you need a repair, take it to the ones who truly care. Let's talk about some diagnostics. You can lead off, Colin, as I'll dive in with you on the stats.
Well, we definitely have some things we can work on this week before we go into a playoff game. You know, some of them reads we talked about with Hunter and Riker, I think they need to be a little quicker. But, you know, for the most part, you can't complain about a 300-yard rushing day. Because we still didn't complete a pass, but we didn't throw a pass in the second half.
Well, there you go.
But you have over 300 yards rushing. No team's going to complain about that.
Nope.
And you've got to celebrate that and
absolutely
show your line that, hey, you know, we can do this. And, you know, going into next week, we've just got to have the confidence that we can play with any team for sure.
Absolutely. And, you know, 300-plus yards rushing, fantastic. Monticello actually had more time with the ball. It just kind of goes to show how efficient Rich was today. Special thanks to Monticello and Coach Reed Anderson, as well as all the media that came up from Monticello to cover these boys. We hope all is well as they come up and they get ready for state tournament play coming up as well. Rushing attempts, you know, might be just a little bit short, but we're having close to 40 rushing attempts in the game. You just hand the ball off, and domination on the offensive front.
Yeah, we had 37 rushing attempts for I got to adjust the stats here, but what's on here is 257 yards, but that doesn't include Riley Carrillo's 89-yarder. So we're averaging 6.9 yards a carry, and I don't think any coach would complain about that.
Nope.
You know, I think we can get our passing game going a little better next week. So, like I say, there's things we can work on, but you definitely have to celebrate this win and tell the boys that, hey, you guys can do this.
Absolutely. One thing that I really like about that diagnostics, looking at these rushing stats right now, is that it was so spread out. Hunter Pace has 5 attempts. Max Perry has 4. Riley has 7. Trey with 2. Riker with 6. No one is, you know, being held – you know, so much responsibility. The wealth and the offensive production was spread across almost everybody today. And we have Pace well above 50 yards rushing, Max over 50, Riley with 100-plus yards, Trey with 50, Riker with 47. It's just good to have that spread out as well. Not only is it efficient, but it's spread out over multiple people being able to carry the ball.
Yeah, it definitely was. And there I have the stats updated, so hopefully it shows Riley's actual yardage here. Let's go down, see here. Yeah, that puts us over 312 yards rushing. So that's huge. and it tells these kids that, we can do this. That gives Riley 110 yards rushing, an average of 18 yards a carry.
There we go. As your stats brought to you by Stacy's Repair in Woodruff. When you need a repair, take it to the ones who truly care. Stacy's Repair in Woodruff. Let's go ahead and take our first post-game ad break. We'll be back to cover the precision play of the game, Jimmy John's Freaky Fast recap, as well as the player of the game. Don't go anywhere here on a Bear Lake Community Health Center presentation of Rich Rebel Football on 98.3 and at mylocalradio.com.
You rely on your vehicle every day. Make sure your ride gets the best service, repairs, and maintenance possible. Stacy's Repair in Woodruff provides the highest quality, the latest technology, and the newest equipment to give your vehicle the absolute best auto care available. Family owned and operated since 1992, your friends at Stacy's Repair promise to always deliver value and outstanding, honest, and knowledgeable service, regardless of repair size or difficulty. Stacy's Repair, the ones who truly care.
In the state where life is elevated, live your life in a higher gear. Cash Honda Yamaha can help you enjoy our beautiful local terrain, whether it's in the valleys, mountains, snow, or water. So get out and enjoy all nature has to offer at a higher speed. Visit Cash Honda Yamaha in Cache Valley to start living your life at your new speed. Visit us in Hyde Park, just north of Logan, Utah.
Welcome back, Rich Rebel fans. Now, as part of our next segment on the post-game show, thank you for joining us on this Epic Recreation post-game show. Let's talk about our precision play of the game. Precision play of the game, sponsored by Dr. McKay Frankum, providing precision family dentistry at affordable prices. Call today for an appointment, 307-789-8910. It could go to a lot of different places today. I mean, we got Hunter Pace on the second play of the day, going for 60 yards on a quarterback keeper, first touchdown, and that really sparked some stuff. Then we had 89-yard touchdown run by Riley Carrillo. We also have a punt return by Trey Walker. I mean, who can you give this to? I don't know.
You have some big fourth down stops.
Huge fourth down stops.
They're driving after a muffed punt by Hunter, put them at 15-yard line, and we turnover on downs. There's so many plays that you could do.
An onside kick recovery. My goodness, so many different things. We're going to share the wealth, and we'll cover all of those ones as part of our precision play of the game. We look forward to more of those, and you know what? If you're having a hard time picking one precision play of the game, I think that you had a pretty good day. Onside kick recovery, punt return, multiple huge running plays for a touchdown. All of those will go down as the precision plays of the game. Has been brought to you by Dr. McKay Frankum in Evanston, providing precision family dentistry at affordable prices. Call today at 307-789-8910. Your final score today, your Rich Rebels 42-6 over Monticello here and getting their first region win.
Peterson.
Let's go ahead as
stays out of the net, but Manila handles it well, and Slaw gets that one.
Brought to you here, and then the player of the game. Goodness.
Another tough
same
one.
Same position.
You got Riker Conk with a couple scores, couple good hard runs to score. You've got Riley Carrillo, an 89-yard touchdown run, which is by far our longest play of the year.
Mm-hmm.
But to me, I think you got to give it to the sophomore that stepped up on defense, Wyatt Shoup, and Wyatt Shoup was huge. I mean, a couple end arounds that he doesn't get there, that's first downs, and that may turn the ball game around.
You're 100% right. Wyatt Shoup, just huge on defense. It felt like every time we were calling a tackle, it was like, oh, Shoup on the tackle, Shoup over here, Shoup to the right, to the left, in the middle. And it's exciting as a sophomore to see that kind of talent coming up. Wyatt Shoup will be given our player of the game. Let's go ahead, take a quick break. We'll end our broadcast immediately after this, after our Jimmy John's Freaky Fast recap and our roundup calendar. We'll talk about what's going on the rest of the week. This has been a Bear Lake Community Health Center presentation of Rich Rebel Football on 98.3 as well as on mylocalradio.com.
America keeps moving, and Auto Farm Chevrolet is here to help you keep rolling. Whether you need a brand new vehicle or service on one you already own, Auto Farm Chevrolet is here to lend a helping hand. Our certified mechanics are knowledgeable, and our sales team takes the time to get to know you and what your needs are. Stop in today, Auto Farm Chevrolet, 624 Front Street, Evanston. Evanston's community-driven dealer.
Welcome back, Rich Rebel fans, to our Epic Recreation postgame show. Before we end, we'd also like to shout out to the offensive line. Wow, that front five did some amazing things today. Just opening up huge holes. We talk about, look, how can we pick a precision play of the game off of all these amazing runs? You forget, someone has to block in order for that to make it happen. Shout out to the offensive line today, seriously.
That front five come up big for us today. So that's when we got to have it next week, too.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Shout out to the offensive line, our precision plays of the game, the player of the game going to Wyatt Shoup. And, our Jimmy John's Freaky Fast recap we'll get into right now as just huge scoring opportunities for and on the day. This is the Jimmy John's in Evanston and Rock Springs, where gourmet sandwiches meet fresh and fast every day. 113 Front Street, Evanston, Freaky Fast, Freaky Fresh. I don't think we scored on the opening drive, but on the second one we did.
No, we did, because Hunter had the 60-yarder on the second play of the game, and then the second possession was his lovely 10-yard, 15-yard punt he had.
There you go. Play-by-play scoring opportunities. Hunter Pace for 61 yards, touchdown. That's on the opening play, 7-0. Then Riley Carrillo for 89 yards, 14-0 with 3.5 minutes left. Then with 1 minute left, a punt by the Buckaroos at their own 30-yard line will be returned by Trey Walker. Punt return for a touchdown, 21-0. Riker Conk adds 2 touchdowns of his own, 9 and 27 yards respectively. Max Perry with 41-yard touchdown, and then Monticello will then score at the end of the fourth quarter, leaving us 42-6. That has been your Jimmy John's Freaky Fast recap. In Evanston and Rock Springs, Freaky Fresh, Freaky Fast every day. Stay informed as the school calendar update coming up this week. Volleyball on Saturday in Manila, and then both volleyball and football are getting ready for the state tournament. We'll touch up, I guess, who we might be playing. It might be Parowan, it might be North Sevier. We don't know quite yet because RPI was taken away from us, but the fact of the matter is Rich got to reach and win, and they're not at the very bottom.
And that doesn't necessarily mean that either, because Monticello does have 2 wins, which is a better winning percentage than we have.
Yep.
So it all depends on how the state sets the RPI, where we're going and who we're playing, but I'm excited to see what happens, and I think that comes out Monday morning. So
I think you're 100% right, as this has been the end of our broadcast. Congratulations to the Rich Rebels and company. We see Buckwheat out onto the field. We'll go ahead, step aside, and end our broadcast. Great to see such an amazing win. As for us, this has been Cody Olson, Colin Pace up here in the booth covering the Rich Rebels. Anything else you want to top off with?
Just thanks for having me. It was a good time today.
I think it was it's good to win, right?
It is.
It's good to win. Let's go ahead. As always, this will be Cody Olson and Colin Pace signing off. Last words of the day. Enjoy this win, Randolph, and as always, go Rebels.
The proceeding has been a wholly owned production of MyLocalRadio.com and Cook Brothers Broadcasting, no portion of which may be used or rebroadcast without the express written consent of Old West Media Incorporated. Thank you for joining us on this Bear Lake Community Health Center presentation of Rich Rebel Sports on MyLocalRadio.com. Until next time, go Rebels!